It's the Orioles on Masson, and we welcome you back to Oakland as the Orioles will conclude this 4-game set against the A's, looking for one W to take across the Bay. Well, for the Orioles, this has been a very tough first 3 games against this Oakland team. Oakland struggling for pitching with 6 starters on the DL. They have come up with pitching and will try and do it one more time and try and sweep the Orioles in a 4-game set for the first time since 2005. The Orioles offense has been cold. Not only do they not score runs, they had a run taken away. Could have had a lead last night. Here's what happened. This is the very first inning, and for the Orioles, a very big play. Adam Jones is on at second base. Hardy gets the double. Valencia will pick it up, get it into the second baseman. Relay will come to the plate. Adam Jones did not get a good jump at the plate. Call safe. But wait a minute. They go to the replay. Foot was up. Tag was on. The replay says out. The Orioles lost the run, and they would not get another one. They hit the ball hard. Mike Trumbo lighting out Coco Chris, top of the 4th inning. Also, Matt Wieters lining out Danny Valencia. J.J. Hardy an opportunity. Coco Crisp. And then Matt Wieters at the top of the 7th inning. Danny Valencia again. The Orioles tagged the ball during the game, but just hit it right at somebody. So here's what's gone on in this series. They're hitting only 179, 1 run a game in the 3, only 2 home runs. Pitching has been outstanding. Starter ERA at 2.5, the bullpen 1.5. Take a look at the bottom. The Orioles have lost the last 12 road games against the American League West. They would like Jim Palmer to wipe all of that out today.
Well, and they can do that. You know, Chris Tillman, I mean, he's still looking for that elusive 15th win. He's had a marvelous year. He's 14-4. He's lost his last 2 starts. They haven't scored a lot of runs for him, so hopefully that'll change. But it even goes farther than that, Gary. You know, even when they scored the 10 runs in Chicago, they got all their runs in the first 3 innings. So 3 runs in the last 33 innings. We know they're a better offensive team. Yeah, they need a couple of breaks. Yeah, you know, Adam Jones, their best base runner as far as maybe not stealing bases, didn't get a good read on the ball and gets thrown out at home plate. But at the end of the day, they got to change something. And, you know, it's not just about the pitching, because we showed you how good that's been. It's a combination. When teams play well, usually they pick each other up. So got to play in concert. Hopefully they'll be in tune today.
Orioles need the middle of their lineup to get it going. Boy, it has been real tough for the big bombers for the Orioles, as Davis, Wieters, Trumbo are all struggling at the plate.
And the other thing is, if you look across the diamond, Gary, what happens if you're Bob Melvin and you manage Oakland, because of how well their starting pitchers have pitched. You know, we knew Graveman was pitching well. He's now won 7 out of 8 decisions. But you had, Zach Neal come up out of AAA. Then you had, again, last time we looked at Detweiler, came out of AAA. They were starting. Today's a little different. Andrew Triggs has only had 1 start all year long. So it's going to be a bullpen game for him. But because their starters went so deep, Bob Melvin has his bullpen available, as does the Orioles.
And if you want to take a look at the starter for Oakland, all you got to do is pick up the Orioles press guide, because that's where he was at the beginning of the year on the 40-man roster. Can the Orioles win? We're going to find out in a minute. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It's another gorgeous day here in the Bay Area. Here in Oakland, our BGE game time temperature is going to be 66 degrees, sunny, blue skies. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Starting lineup for the Orioles brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Jones, Kim, and Machado, Davis, Trumbo, and Alvarez, Weeder, Scope, and Flaherty gets a start. Jonathan Scope, really good day game numbers.
And they'll face a guy that was in spring training, Andrew Triggs, 27-year-old right-hander out of Nashville. It's pretty much, it's kind of a sinker, slider, curveball pitcher, not a hard thrower, about 90 with those two pitches. And he throws the breaking ball about 45% of the time. And the average is about 100 points lower when he does that. You can see lefties and righties. 3 of those 4 home runs by the right-handers, and the average just a tad for both righties and lefties under 300.
Adam Jones will lead it off. Adam's got the big 6 for 12, a homer and an RBI in this series. He's got a 6-game hit streak. Delivered from the third base side. That'll be taken inside for a ball. Adams had the hot bat on this road trip and continuing it, in fact, through the month of August, as we are already at the 11th. Adam hitting .368 month of August, 2 home runs. And that one is going to be in there for a strike. This is one of the few times that you look at the opposing starter and you find him in the Orioles press guide. Andrew Triggs was on the 40-man roster before was waived and picked up by the Oakland team. Jones will take that one down to third base. Healy is there and one away.
Yeah, take a look at their defense. They played well in this series. Came in second to last in defense as far as amount of errors. Chris Smolinski and Valencia. Danny's been all over the place. First and third right field in this series. And then Healy, Semien, Muncy, who made the great relay throw to get Jones at the plate last night. Alonso and then Stephen Vogt. 2 of the actually make it 3 of the 4 games he'll be behind the plate.
Young-Soo Kim back in the lineup with the left-hander last night. Detweiler shutting the Orioles out on 6 hits over 8 innings. And Kim not in against the lefties. Pitch will be taken for a strike. Kim has gone 1 for 8 in the series. And Orioles need some table setting here from the top of the order. Get some guys on, see if they can pick up some runs.
Yeah, so there you go. That's against the right-handers, and that's why Kim is in the lineup. Select company right there. Altuve leading the American League in hitting, and Ortiz with the wow factor in his last year.
That one's going to be taken outside. For Andrew Triggs, this is his 20th appearance, second start not only of this year but of his career. Recall from AAA Nashville August 5 for an incredible 8th time up with the team. Oakland A's have noted they believe that is, I'm not sure there's a record kept, but they think that's the all-time record for a player being brought up in the course of one season 8 times.
Well, he's one of those guys that had options. And,
certainly did.
Yeah, Buck Showalter always talks about it. Again, sometimes you're on the yo-yo when you can be sent out and don't have to go through waivers. There's a nice breaking ball. So again, I mean, that's his bread and butter pitch. You already threw him a fastball, threw him a changeup. But at the end of the day, this is the lowest batting average, 245 coming in.
His other start, it was against the Angels back on June 18. It was a game, and actually they didn't have a starter, so they started with the bullpen. He was working out of the bullpen. They let him work into the 4th inning and then brought on rest of the bullpen guys to finish it out. Didn't pitch particularly well in that start. He's faced the Orioles once, and that was back part of a day-night doubleheader in Baltimore in May. It was on the 17th, and that's the time against Baltimore which he worked an inning and actually struck the side out. Yeah, so 2 down, nobody on. Machado.
Yeah, July 8th is the last time he really threw over 50 pitches, and that was 51. And then early, all the way back in May, 52.
He'll be fouled back into the seats. Look out.
I tell you what, he certainly has a guideline to go by. I mean, after watching the first 3 games, the first 2 by right-handers, and Detweiler, the lefty, pitching for the A's yesterday.
Last 3 starters for the Orioles are not rotation starters. They have been fill-ins because of all the injuries that the pitching staff has suffered through. And Machado on a swing and a pitch away. Manny's had a couple of hits, 10 at bats in this series for the Orioles. There have been a lot of ground ball outs. The pitchers for Oakland have been able to keep the ball down, and as a result picking up ground balls. Detweiler did that in the ball game yesterday, and that one's going to be outside to Manny.
Yeah, there is an art to you know, and Stephen Vogt, who's caught the first 2 games, said, listen, this is a very aggressive club. They do lead the American League in home runs, but if you make your pitches, and they've done that early in the count, you will get some easy outs. They've done that too.
Delivery, and it'll be fouled away. But their bullpen's in good shape. Starting Triggs, a bullpen relief pitcher. If he doesn't go deep, they do have a rested Penn because Detweiler was able to go 8 in the ball game last night, and Zach Neal 5 1/3 in the second game of this series. Manny waiting on the 2-ball 2-strike count. The outfield deep on him, down to third. That'll be knocked down. Healy up, and a pick at first base. Their defense, especially in the infield, really has been spectacular in this series. These are the kind of plays that have prevented the Orioles from getting a break and getting an inning started. Great family here. They've been watching the Orioles. They've been on hand for a number of games. Our gal there next to Dad, who's got that great bow in her hat. She just wiped all the salt off the pretzel and then ate the salt. Okay, here's the lineup for the A's. Chris, Simeon, and Vogt. Valencia, Alonso, and Butler. Smolinski, Healy, and Muncy. Danny Valencia against Tillman.
Yeah, so Chris, he did pitch against the A's earlier in the year, a 1-11-3, gave up 3 runs early on. A lot of fastballs, slider, curveball, and changeup. So again, this will be the 4th attempt at win number 15.
First ball will go to left field. It'll go right to Kim, and pitching and out with Chris.
Yeah, so look at the numbers, and you know, again, they're glowing ones. Low averages, righty, lefties, the home runs. You know, early on didn't throw many. Had 2 games where he threw 3 in each. Lost one of them against the Yankees, 1 against Cleveland, and then has gone back to being Chris Tillman, which is the model of consistency.
Orioles in second place, game behind Toronto. Toronto's got the day off today. Pitch will be taken by Simeon. Simeon, their shortstop, 0 for 5 off Tillman. The Red Sox are 2.5 games behind. Boston will play at home against the Yankees tonight. Pitch is taken down low. The A's are 16.5 out. They're taking a look at a number of young players. Bob Melvin shuffling the lineup and position players around. Their job is to be a spoiler the rest of the way, and they're playing a lot of the leading clubs here for the next couple of weeks. Chris Tillman's delivery, and that's going to be outside to Simeon. Chris has had the tough first innings, 11 runs given up in the first innings of games. And that is the most of any inning that he has pitched. There he is standings. Yankees still in a wild card race. They are not in any sense out of the wild card race. Ground ball towards the middle. That's going to be a base hit. So Simeon is on his third hit in 12 at bats in the series.
Yeah, take a look at the Oriole defense. A little different. Kim Jones and Trumbull, pretty standard in the outfield. Machado, and then Hardy, who's been red hot, will get the afternoon off. Ryan Flaherty comes in, and Scope Davis, and then Matt Wieters. Third out of the fourth game in this series that he's done the catching.
Take a look at what's going on. The wild card race right now. Baltimore, Boston with 1 and 2. Detroit's a game out of a wild card spot. Seattle 1.5. Houston 3.5 out. And then the Yankees are just behind them. So it's I mean, it's going to be interesting. That's why the wild card was put in, to keep interest in teams that otherwise would be out of it. The pitch will be in there for a strike. Vogt's got a 3-game hit streak coming in. He's had a 2 for 5 in the games. He has the last couple of games he's been in, 3 for 5 in the series. And Vogt 0 for 9 lifetime against Tillman. Simeon on first base, being held by Davis. Bunting, that would have been for a base hit because he had Machado back and swung around.
Well, again, when you're pitching well, and that's what they've been able to do, you don't have to muster a lot of offense. I mean, they've only scored 6 runs in their last 3 games, and they won all 3 of them. So again, good pitching allows you to try to manufacture, conjure up some runs in a lot of different ways.
Machado moves in a couple of steps closer at third base. Vogt will go after one with a big cut on that one.
Yeah, the big game on Monday night, he tied it up with a home run and then won it with an RBI single, and of course he's also receiving, and you win. In fact, all 3 of the games have been 1-run victories for the A's.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Vogt. Runner stays at first. Ball put up in the air to left field again. Kim with that high sky, lots of sun. Will put it away. Vogt retired, 2 down.
Yeah, so look at this right here. This is against the AL West all time, and you know, you got Pedro in the Hall of Fame, Doc Ellis, long time retired, Sale still pitching, Scherzer lights out now with the Nationals, and then Chris Tillman at 18 and 5. Fly ball pitcher, big ballparks. Orioles really since 2012, when he really came back and resurrected his career, have been a pretty good club.
4th start he's had here at the Coliseum, 1-0, 2.65 ERA in this ballpark. Runner on at first now with 2 down. Here's Danny Valencia, and that will go to short. Flaherty's there. He'll look over to first, and that will do it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 1 complete here. 4th game of the 4-game set. Grabowski from Rosedale, 500 for being selected, another 500 for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, went up to 50,000. Or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Orioles continue to be on top, 170 home runs leading the majors. 89 they've hit at Camden Yards, 81 they have put out on the road. There's somebody who'd like to do that here today, Chris Davis.
Well, you'd like to get one of those hanging breaking balls. Last home run was Sunday against James Shield, who hung one.
Only home run he's had this month.
Yeah, you would think this would be a pretty good matchup because, again, to be able to really exploit the uppercut swing of Chris Davis, you got to be able to pitch it inside. But again, 89 away.
Chris will take the pitch down low. Chris hitting a .161 here in August with the one home run. The Oriole boppers, as we said, have struggled here this month. Trumbo hitting .133 in August. He has had one home run. And it's kind of been that way for the middle of the lineup. Steve Pearce update. Still out with that arm throwing problem. And not much of an update today really from Buck Showalter, other than a decision will be made after the game. Maybe it's been made already regarding Pearce, whether or not he's got to go on the DL or not before the Giants series starts tomorrow night. That one into the shift will go to the third baseman. He's there. He'll make the throw over and get the out, and Davis is retired. Take a look at our PNC Inside the Numbers.
Yeah, so again, day games for the Orioles through June 12th. A struggle since, and you hope this is a trend for today. Again, of course, those three losses are on the road. The Orioles, what, 24-33 now away from home, 39-17. Friendly kind finds, not of Wrigley Field, but of Camden Yards. Love to play at home.
Orioles won 34 games on the road last year. They went 34-50. And they're kind of in the same setting right now with that 24-33 mark. Not much of a change in their road numbers from last year. They have lost their last three, of course. The A's have beaten them in those ball games. And the Orioles on this road trip now 2-4. They've scored 3.7 a game. Team ERA is 3.06. I mean, some pretty solid numbers, but just not enough in the offensive department to take advantage of some good pitching. Fastball is going to catch the inside corner, a strike to Trumbo. 0 for 11 in the series.
Yeah, you just get into one of those ruts offensively. It's a big swing ball club. They don't manufacture runs, don't steal bases. But when you score 3 runs or less 11 out of your last 16 games, you're not going to win a lot of those games, even when you are pitching well.
The West has been the bugaboo for the Orioles this year. 10-19 against the West. Pitch on the way by Triggs, and that's going to be there for a strike. And the Orioles have not won a road game against a Western Division team in their last 12. 0-12 on the road against the West coming into this game. Just a lot of numbers to get over. Last night it looked like they might, the way they were hitting the ball. I mean, some really good contact, but it just didn't fall in. And those are the kind of pitches Orioles have chased a bit here on this road trip.
Well, again, 45%, and that number may go up of Triggs's pitches out of the bullpen have been breaking balls, and why not? The batting average is 245. When he throws his fastball, it's up over 340. So a breaking ball pitcher, and again, if you make your pitches, you would think, at least short term, because he hasn't done a lot of pitching over 3 innings, that might be effective against this lineup.
Pedro Alvarez, the DH, he has had a hot bat. 348 in August and 5 home runs this month. 0 for 7 though in this series, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Numbers picked up by Alvarez have moved the Orioles DH numbers up to among the leaders. Ortiz, of course, has been on top of DHs all season long with his numbers. That's in there for a strike. Alvarez turning back to Gabe Morales, home plate umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Shift on against him. Second baseman out in shallow right field. And go the other way, foul.
And so again another select group. Aubrey Huff, who actually in 2008 led the American League in extra base hits. Luke Scott, who had some good years. Eddie Murray in the Hall of Fame. Harold Baines, one of the great DHs of all time.
Ripped off the mask of Vogt. Steve Pearce on the right. Buck Showalter never says whether or not a player who's struggling with an injury is really available or not when not on the DL. So of course he hasn't said anything about Pearce. Steve has not appeared at the plate or in the field. That, arm hurt on the throw made. It's one that's been bothering him since before being reacquired by the Orioles. Swing and a miss. Play's got to be made at first base, and is. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the ball game for Triggs. And back to the mound in a scoreless game will go Tillman. We're talking about the Orioles on the road. This is since July 1.
Yeah, and it's a struggle. And again, all you got to do is look at the runs per game, 3.3, and then match them up with the starters ERA and the bullpen. Bullpen is the best in the American League, but if you average it out, it's probably about 4 runs a game. You are giving up more than you are scoring, and that's how you lose.
Where's Tillman back out?
Doesn't that seem so simple?
Yes.
I thought it was going to work yesterday. You know, Cal Ripken Sr. told me in A-ball. He goes, hey, we got to score 1 more than the opposition. I gave it to Bobby Dickerson yesterday, third base coach. I said it's simple.
And he adopted it immediately.
Well, yeah, by sending Adam Jones. And he got thrown out at the plate. But that wasn't really, that wasn't about Bobby. That was about a great relay play. And Adam just, with the twilight, didn't get a good read on the ball over Valencia's head and right.
Alonso's had a 3 for 8. Yonder Alonso, maybe their best defensive infielder. Pitch will be taken. He has saved a lot of errors with the work he has done at first base. You've already seen him save 1 in this ball game on Manny Machado's ground ball to third. He's a really good defender, and he's gone well offensively for this ball club, especially against the Orioles. 7 for 17 this year against the O's. Go up in the air to left. Long run for Kim. Big foul area, and it'll be a foul ball.
Yeah, you really need, well, you don't need, but it would be nice to have exceptional speed in this part. I think for young Kim, he has played left field a lot better than maybe people would have anticipated. He's hit better after starting out, what, 0 for 24. But boy, if you can look back at some of the great Oakland A's teams, world champions, 72, 3, and 4, they had guys that could really burn. You know, even Ricky Henderson, known for his stolen bases, was terrific left fielder.
1 for 6 off Tillman for Alonso, and he'll foul another one away. With the 3 losses by the Orioles, of course, in the first 3 games, they have lost the series. Season series. The A's will win it either 5-2 or 4-3, depending on the outcome today. The Orioles on the road now have won 9 series this year and lost 11. Their series record, and that's down low. The Giants are next, as the Orioles will go back across the bay tomorrow night. Dylan Bundy and Matt Cain scheduled starters. 9:30 O's extra, 10 o'clock for the ball game. But first, try and get a win here against these A's. Tillman's delivery, and that's off speed, and it's bounced off the end of the bat. Played over to Davis, and Alonso is retired. On Tuesday, the Orioles will be back home at Camden Yards in a big 2-game series against the Red Sox. Hope you'll show your pride. Paint the park orange. Both Tuesday, Wednesday games are at 7:05. Good seats available at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Billy Butler coming to the plate. Butler hitting .325 over the last couple of months. He had a tough start first month of the season, hitting .200. He has picked it up, and the DH will take the pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, game winner earlier on in this series, rifled one into right field.
Butler's had a couple of hits off Tillman, 2 for 17, and one of those a home run. The A's have not scored any runs either, but they've held opponents down. They've had 6 runs over the last 3 games and winning all 3 of those games. Neither team has had many opportunities. Haven't been a lot of runners in scoring position in the first 3 games of this series. Butler will take it, and that's going to miss.
Yeah, if you told Bob Melvin you're going to go into August and play the Cubs and then the Orioles, and you're going to score what 9 runs in 6 games, and you'd be 500, 3-3, you'd go, really? They only scored a run a game against the Cubs when they came in.
And he walked in. Oh, he didn't.
3-1, I
Come
believe.
Back, 3-1.
Yeah. Well, Billy would go. I mean, why not?
Well, a 3-ball walk is always an advantage in baseball, like the 4-strike strikeout.
Yeah, I always like to punch guys out on the 2nd strike if they.
And a swing and a miss over the top on that one. 85, feeding him some off-speed pitches.
Yeah, well, that's a slider, and to me, that's one of the big differences. 11-11 last year. Really got knocked around by Toronto. ERA 0-4 with an ERA of over 11 runs a game, but now 4-pitch pitcher. They're all different speeds. Just trying to time those 4 pitches.
And he comes back with heat at 93.
Yeah, you think, Gary, you're going to get a fastball 3-1. He throws you a cutter or a slider and then the high rider. So from 87 to 93, curveball's about 78. And the changeup a little bit lower than that. That is your Mercedes pitch track presented by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing, and that's what Butler gets here.
Chris Tillman 11-11 last year, now 14-4. Tied for 3rd in wins. He has given up the 6th most walks in the American League. ERA of 3.5 is just out of the top 10. Jake Smolinski 2 for 4. 291, another of the young players involved in this series, as they will be for the rest of the year for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, you look at his numbers, and they got him on waivers from Texas, and I think we've always known the theory about the A's, the money ball, hit some home runs, but on base percentage important. Through the minor leagues with Miami and then with Texas, always had high on base percentages. And I'm sure that came into play when they acquired him. We've seen in this series willing to take a walk. It's Chris Tillman here at the Oakland Coliseum.
Foul tipped into the mitt, was held on to, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Two down, nobody on. Smolinski, their center fielder. Coco Crisp playing in left the last couple of ball games. Speaking of left, Kim. Already a busy day out there. He'll put it away. Tillman retires the side in order, and after 2, teams are scoreless. Coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. We open our Major League Notebook to the East Winds page. Stephen Wright, knuckleballer, is going to miss his start against the Yankees tonight. He was scheduled to pitch, shoulder problem. Rodriguez will take his place, and Clay Buchholz is going to go back into the rotation as they shuffle that up. Troy Tulowitzki, red hot for Toronto. 296, 11 homers, 35 RBIs, and 40 right when they needed him, with Bautista going back on the DL. Michael Polina, he'll start tonight against Boston. 3-1 over the last 4, but 0-2 with a high ERA against Boston on the season. And the pitch will be taken by Matt Wieters for a strike.
Yeah, you got to love the interleague play, don't you? Stephen Wright, 13 wins. They pinch run with him because he looked good swinging the bat. Pinch ran for Ortiz, drove back into the base and jammed his shoulder.
Yep. Well, they lose a very important starter, the Red Sox do, and they've not been.
Yeah, they don't think it's going to be. Apparently, from what I read, it's not going to be long term. But you know, Buchholz is what, 2-8 with an ERA of over 6 runs a game when he's had to start.
There is no long term anymore. Yeah. This is August
day to day
11. Yeah. This is right now. On the inside corner for a strike. Matt's had a 1 for 10 in the series. Pitching of Oakland's really held him down. He's 1 for 17 this year against the Oakland A's. Straight up D against him, and he'll foul that one off. Trying to get down the third base side with it. Well, for Matt this month, the 172 average.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you look at preparation for series. Curt Young's been in this organization either pitching or pitching coach for over 30 years, and everybody talks about his ability to try to program his pitchers to pitch well against the opposition.
Towering fly ball, not deep. Danny Valencia. Wieters is retired. Want to check out behind the scenes moments, pictures of your favorite players in action? Follow at Masson Orioles on Instagram for photos, giveaways, and more. Again, that's at Masson Orioles on Instagram.
Yeah, so you go back and you talk about Curt Young. You look at Graveman, high ball hitting team. You talk about the Orioles. He's a low ball pitcher. The same with Neal. And you get Detweiler, who really mixed his pitches well. Very aggressive. That's how he was able to pitch 8 innings. But at the end of the day, you can tell him how to pitch him. You still have to go out there and do it. That's what they've been able to do in this series.
Jonathan Scope with a 2 for 9 in this series. Triggs delivery to him, and again there's that pitch down in a way that he kind of winds in from the third base side.
It's a breaking ball. And again, this is pretty much a ball to a ball. See, it starts off the plate But again, the illusion is if you're a good fastball hitter, even though Jonathan's probably one of the better breaking ball hitters the Orioles have. So again, this may be Andrew Triggs. You know, he worked his way up at least last year in Double-A Bowie. He was 17 down to 17 closing. He's a finesse pitcher. You know, he favors the breaking ball and he can command it. So you would think he'd be tough against a fastball hitting team like the O's.
Fouled outside of third. In Nashville, he was 2-1, 2 saves, 2.95 ERA, 16 games, all of them in relief this year. Lifetime, he's 13-10, 52 saves and a 2.09 ERA. Now those are minor league numbers over 5+ seasons. Traded to Baltimore prior to the 15 season and claimed off waivers March of this year by the A's.
Yeah, 19th round guy, and you know the radar gun would probably tell you he's not going to be up on the draft list. But pitchability might be a little bit different because it looks like he's got a pretty good idea. I think the big question, Gary, how many innings can he pitch? He just hasn't pitched a whole lot.
Delivery on the way, and that'll be a base hit into right field. Nobody on first base. There's no throw to be made by Muncy after he got there, the second baseman.
It's one of those plays, if you really get off the mound, which is what you're taught in spring training, everybody's yelling, get over there. It might have been close because Muncy's got pretty good range. Right there, if he picks it up, which he didn't, there might have been a play. Orioles need a few more of the little loopers and bloopers.
Infield hits, American League leaders. Red Sox on top, Orioles third. That was a tweener. Outfield grass just over Alonso's glove at first.
Like a 60-degree wedge.
Here's Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty will take the pitch down low. Flaherty has not had an at-bat since July 30. That is a long time. It's his first appearance here in this series. So for Ryan, no at-bats in August. In at third base, Healy. Throw over will get Jonathan Schoop back. Scope's hit is the first for the Orioles. Each team now with one.
All I know is that Ryan Flaherty and Trumbo, they came trotting in from center field where you do your early hitting. Mark Trumbo said he's found it. Flash has found his stroke, so we'll see, even though he hasn't played.
In the air and a broken bat to left field. Coco Crisp. Runner tags. Schoop stays. Crisp puts it in. 2 down. Flaherty shattered the wood on that one. Top of the order, it'll be Adam Jones coming up.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the Orioles, I mean, they're aggressive, anxious hitting team anyway. They get their pitch early, they're going to hack. And again, it really plays into the opposition if you make your pitches. And then just imagine you haven't played since last month. It's hard to take pitches.
Yep. Adam grounded out his first time up. Overall, he's got a 6-game hit streak. On the road, he's got an 8-game hit streak. 15 for 36 during the road streak. Couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. And a little chopper. Simeon will go to second base, force out, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third, no score. Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by University of Maryland University College. Orioles may not be hitting on the road, but I'll tell you, the weather they've had on this road trip. Chicago, magnificent. Here in the Bay Area, absolutely beautiful, like it is on the Eastern Shore. But very comfortable here again today, 66 degrees and very little breeze blowing. Ball obviously tends to travel in this ballpark much better during day games than at night when the coastal fog moves in. Pitch taken down low.
Yeah, I prefer your sea smoke.
Sea smoke. Yes. None of that today. It's pretty much burnt off. It's always there in the morning.
But we will have the pigeons later on. They're well acquainted with day games.
It'll be about the 5th inning.
Yeah, they'll start circling. Well, the way this game's going, it may be
7.
Usually it's like 3:30, but the game could be over by then. Way over.
He'll be around the field, on the field, hovering. Particularly enjoy flying over Jim's head, which we've continually told him is good luck. When a spot develops, a white spot develops on your head.
Well, they're not pitching. They're
seagulls come around here, and they tend to enjoy finding Jim.
Through the netting too. That's amazing.
I'll tell you this though, when it happens, your hair stays in place. Ryan Healy at the plate. Healy's had a 1 for 8 in this series. Orioles actually playing the line at third. Manny Machado way over. That's because they have the shift on. That one fouled away, and a 2-ball 2-strike count for Chris Tillman. You know, far over he is towards the line at third. Now Scope goes back on the other side of second base with the 2-2 count. Delivery to him, and that'll go the other way down the line. And that 2. Take a hop off the facade.
Yeah, it appears, well, again, we haven't really seen Ryan Healy hit that much, but you look at the scouting reports, talk to people that have seen him. You know, young hitter. Started to AA, AAA, and long swing, susceptible to the breaking ball, but again, good power in the middle of the plate.
Tillman's pitch to him. Healy's been one of the leading hitters in the minor league system for the A's. It's only his 4th pro year out of the University of Oregon. 284 minor league average. He was 3rd among all minor leaguers in the A's system in hits, batting average, and 7th in RBI and doubles last year. That ball will be chopped to short. Flaherty on the charge. Healy is retired. There's one away. Our league leaderboard brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counted.
Yeah, the 5th most wins, and it's a select group. Price got the 217 million. Sale, well, when he's not cutting up uniforms, one of the tough left-handers, the King, Felix, and then Jared Weaver over the last 5 years. But the best winning percentage of all those guys since 2012 is Chris Tillman, who's pitching for the Orioles.
Great record going lifetime at 70 and 46. Here is Mac Muncy batting 9th, 0 for 6 in the series. He goes to first in a hurry. Davis will take it to the bag, and there are 2 down. This ball game starting out exactly like the other 3, where the pitchers are dominating. A lot of first pitch swings, a lot of first pitch outs. Top of the order, Coco Crisp. Crisp lined out to left field. He going after the first pitch from Chris Tillman. In at third base again, Machado.
Yeah, he led this series off with a double off of Kevin Cosmo. Took a 3-2 pitch down in the left field corner. Last hit. Made the big catch on Monday night off the bat of Trumbo in a 1-run Oriole loss.
Chris now 1 for 16 on the homestand. He's lowered the average at home even more. It's 191 here at home, 282 on the road. And that pitch is taken for a strike. And that's really hard to define. With somebody who can hit some line drives in a big ballpark like this, you'd figure he'd have a few extra base hits and a pretty good average. But not so. Not this year.
Not much better hitter from this side of the plate. This is where his power is.
That'll come right back to Tillman, and he'll get it over there in time. 3 ground ball outs. Retires the side in orders. That's going to be 8 in a row set down by Tillman. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid. All-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Little breeze picking up here at the ballpark. The Coliseum in Oakland. The Orioles have struggled mightily over the years, trying to pick up wins in this ballpark.
Well, how about losing 8 of the last 10 series? Of course, if you go back before last year, then the A's were a pretty good club. Won a couple of divisions, in the mid-90s in games won.
Since 2008, only 2 series wins in 10 chances, including, of course, this one. Kim will lead it off for the Orioles. Strikeout victim. Kim, Machado, and Davis due up in the 4th inning. So we go through 3, 0-1-0 for each team. Simeon a single in the 1st for the A's. Scope a single in the 3rd for the Orioles.
And how about Triggs? That's his 43rd pitch. So for a guy that really hasn't pitched over 3 innings, awfully pitch efficient, and a lot of that has to do with the Orioles. Again, it looks like, I don't know, maybe Adam Jones, the last out of last inning, is a good breaking ball. Pitchers pitch early in the count, and when you're not scoring runs, you get a little anxious. You swing at their pitches instead of yours.
Keep him in the ball game, and the longer he goes here, anything beyond 4 innings certainly be a real plus for the A's. Pitch will be taken outside, spinning off his hand on that.
Well, you talk to most hitting instructors, and what they preach, whether it's Scott Coolbaugh or Darren Bush of the A's, is that until you get the 2 strikes, hit on your terms. You have an idea of what you want to get.
And foul.
Now, it doesn't mean you're going to hit them, but it means you most likely will have better quality at bats. And of course, if you're out 60 feet 6 inches away, you want to entice them to swing at your pitch as early as you can, and that's number 1. Probably pitch count will go down, and number 2, you'll probably get more outs.
Kim on a rolling dervish right there.
Well, he's got a curveball and a slider. Yeah, he's got 1 slider about 83, 84, and then he's got the hook. So you get the 2 strikes. I mean, can you throw it underneath the strike zone? Something you work on in the bullpen. Okay, just like hitters and situationals. Man on third, less than 2 outs, hit a fly ball. Can you throw your breaking ball underneath the zone? And that's exactly what he does.
Manny Machado grounded out his first time up. It's delivered to him as a check swing that is in there for a strike. Orioles have added strikeouts on this road trip, a number they've been able to keep down for most of the year. That's risen up a bit here in the road trip, and as a result, of course, the walks go down. The Orioles Right now they are 11th in the league in walks and 8th in on base percentage. First half of the season they were significantly better in both of those categories. Pitch on the way by Triggs and a big swing and a miss. It's the right-hander struggling, trying to find a way to get to that pitch that ends up out of the strike zone.
Well, to their credit, those are terrific sliders. Now they become, at least when I pitched, if a guy looked for a pitch, it's a little easier to hit than if you're looking fastball and you swing at that pitch. And of course, Triggs goes to 92. And again, trying to hit the outside corner, misses, and then you get probably back into a breaking ball count. So there you go. Pitches per game. That's the average. High of 50.
Triggs delivery on the way, and that's going to be a base hit. Yes, underneath the glove of Muncy. So Machado gets a 1-out single here in the 4th inning, and the Orioles have their 2nd hit of the ball game. On Sunday, August 21, great promotional giveaway. They'll be texting about all season long. 1:35 Astros game, the Birdland Power Company Emoji T-shirt, digital version. Some of your favorite sluggers, kids after the game 14 and under, run the bases as they have every Sunday when the Orioles are at home. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Cooling down a little bit. Family putting the jackets on. They're up underneath, covered a bit. And the pitch is taken by Davis, who grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, Chris actually had a pretty good at bat. He hit it to the left side at Semien, who was the only guy playing on that side, and hit it hard. You got to like that approach.
Orioles are 10th in the league in strikeouts now. The A's second fewest strikeouts. And held for a moment, but it's going to miss. Down low, maybe a little bit away. Kansas City among the top 5, but surprisingly, I think the team that has struck out the least are the Angels. They've not had exactly a ferocious offense this year. Sidearm delivery to first base. Chris Davis with a 2 for 13 in the series. Double play depth on the shift and foul back.
And there's your the pitch to drive, and that's again, if you go back and look at the series, when they do get them and they don't get a whole lot of them, they're just fouling them off, or as you mentioned last night, Gary, they just hit balls at people.
Minor league career for Triggs, not many home runs. 254 innings pitched, 7 home runs and 254 career innings. Into the shift, that's going to be a base hit. Making the turn, Manny Machado. He'll go to third, and the Orioles get a shot at it here in the 4th inning. They cover the corners with just 1 out.
Yeah, second straight fastball that Chris Davis gets and puts a good swing on it. Watch him go out and cover the outside corner. Look where the glove is. Stephen Vogt doesn't quite get it there, so it becomes hittable. I mean, he still rolls over, but again, very fast infield here in Oakland. And then just the aggressive base running. It's such a big ballpark, easy to go from first to third here when you get a good jump, and Manny Machado does that.
So the first Orioles chance in the ball game. They get a run in. And Mark Trumbo, a strikeout victim, will have the opportunity. 297 in these situations. The Orioles in the series have gone 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Pitch will be taken inside for a ball. So an opportunity not to be lost here in the 4th inning for the O's.
Yeah, the one thing about Mark, he's driven in a lot of runs, and that runner in scoring position number just a tick under 300. So look for your pitch here.
Delivery to him, and that's going to be lined to center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Manny Machado will score. Davis stops at second. Trumbo picks up the RBI, a team leading 78th of the year.
Well, there's a large contingency of Oriole fans here in Oakland, and they get to their feet. Runs have been difficult. Nice swing inside out. It's the way, I mean, this is really the way Mark Trumbo started the season. Got 4 hits against the Twins opening day with his stroke. Yeah, he can get home runs, but he can also hit line drives, and he's able to do that.
Mark now fifth in the American League in runs batted in with the 78. Encarnacion with 94 is the league leader. Still 2 on, still only 1 away. Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez a strikeout victim, his first time up. Orioles now with 4 hits, 3 of them consecutively singles here in the 4th. Triggs delivery, and it will be outside for a ball. Alvarez has had a much higher average on the road than at home for the Orioles this year. He's 284 in away games, 230 at Camden Yards. Looking for his first hit of the series. That ball in the air, that's going to fall into right center field. Walensky couldn't cut it off. It goes by in great jump. Davis scores. Trumbo's coming. Throw will come to the plate, not in time, and a 2 RBI double for Alvarez, and the Orioles get on the board as they put 3 across.
I think one of the big questions was Andrew Triggs. What's he going to do the second time through the liner? And you're finding out right here. Low fastball hitters. I mean, Alvarez doesn't miss too many fastballs down in the zone, and he hits a screamer up the gap. Good base running by Trumbo. He's going to go all the way from first and then easily score. So now all of a sudden tables turn as Andrew Triggs tries to go through the lineup the second time.
Visit to the mound as the bullpen will in a hurry start to throw. Kurt Young will go out and draw a little bit of time here. They had hoped Triggs might be able to get through 4 innings. He might, but not the way they'd hoped, as the Orioles have 4 consecutive hits. RBI by Trumbo, 2 RBIs by Alvarez.
Number 32,
LeMay in the bullpen. And the Orioles still with a chance to have even a bigger inning. 41 RBIs for Alvarez now at second. Matt Wieters flied out to right field, his first time up. Infield will be shifted around on Matt. He'll take the pitch outside for a ball. Orioles had gone the 18 innings without picking up a run prior to the crossing of Machado here in the 4th inning. Leaders 1-1.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. You play. I mean, this is the 4th game in the first 2. Gary, you mentioned that not a lot of runs as you look at the pitch count. Andrew Triggs, but he only had 12 opportunities, runners in scoring position. 2 for 12 doesn't get you a lot of runs, especially when the 2 home runs are solo shots.
Pitch on the way to Matt. Lifts that one up in the air to left center. Crisp. Comes in, puts it away, and staying at second base is Alvarez. 2 down here in the 4th inning. The Orioles came into this game on the year hitting just .224 against Oakland. That is the 2nd lowest average against any team this year in the American League. They're hitting .209 against the Yankees, and we're hitting .224 against Seattle and Oakland. The Orioles getting 3 runs on 5 hits in this one. And even though they trail and will lose the season series, they've now outscored this team 26-19 on the year. And a check swing went around on it. Jonathan Scope base hit his first time up. Runner at second base. Scope with the opportunity for the RBI. Jonathan has picked up 59, looking for that nice round 60 number, and runs batted in. Not that one.
Yeah, and he waves at the good breaking ball. Yeah, Bob Melvin on the field, the skipper's the A's, saying that it's amazing, at least his, as a former catcher, his assessment of Jonathan Scope is how far he's come in such a short time. And part of it is if you don't make a good pitch with that breaking ball, it's become a pretty good hitter in those circumstances.
Pretty good lead at second base. Little number comes back off the fist. Played over to first base. That will retire Scope in the side, but the Orioles have a 3-run, 4-hit inning. And the Orioles up 3-0. Health partner for locations. Visit whywaitintheer.com.
Yeah, so there it is. The roller coaster ride really started when they went on the West Coast after San Diego. They had won 7 in a row, and then they lose 5, and then of course Tillman would stop that against the Dodgers. So again, now you would think if the pitching can stay the way it is, with certainly a very capable offense, we just saw that in this inning, that maybe that roller coaster ride will straighten out a little bit.
Chris Tillman now with a lead to work with, going after victory number 15. The Orioles up.
Well, the 4th time he has attempted that, and this they had gotten him in that last inning more runs than they had gotten him in any of the other 3 ball games.
Semien, who had a base hit his first time up, will take the pitch. Bottom of the 4th inning. For Chris, he's had a loss to the White Sox, a no decision against Toronto, and a loss to Colorado in those attempts to get to his 15th win of the year. And that one down and away. Good movement on it at 82.
Yeah, real good. Yeah, Marcus Semien, really good fastball hitter. So when you add the slider, at least a more consistent one, it just gives you, hopefully, if you make your pitch, another way to get him out.
Semien with a pitch outside, won't bite on it. Semien, Vogt, and Valencia are due up for the Oakland A's. Semien 3 hits in this series. He's gone 3 for 12. And Tillman came back inside, won't get the call on it though. 3 ball, 2 strike count, leadoff batter. A's have not had the leadoff batter on in the first 3 innings of the ball game. Right-hander's delivery. Semien will foul it off. Chris has not lost to this Oakland team with a 1-0 record this year and a 3-0 mark lifetime against the A's, and gets him on a swinging strike.
Yeah, he is 6'5", and he, that 93 just has that slight hesitation with his front side. That little pause right there, and he's the kind of a right-handed playing Kershaw, because Kershaw, and then the angle, not to mention the quality of the pitch, outside corner.
So Tillman records the first out here in the 4th inning, and that will bring up Stephen Vogt. Vogt batting 3rd. Flied out to left field his first time up. He's had a hit in the 3 games played prior to this one in the series, including the home run. Loam still up in the bullpen. It's probably going to be it for Triggs, the bullpen starter in this game. Off the fist foul and no play for Manny Machado. A's team offensively didn't have to score much of anything in order to win the first 3 games. And on the season, this A's ball club, they're 12th in average and 13th in runs. And Vogt crosses the plate on that strike. 1-2. Bob Melvin's team love to find a way to get back to 500, but 51-63. It'll be a road here the final month and a half.
Well, they certainly haven't thrown in the towel. I mean, even since the All-Star break, they won their first 4 series. They went 9-4. Then they go 1-8, and then you think maybe you want to play them. They go 3-0 against the team in first place as the Orioles.
Up high, and he went after. That'll be strikeout number 3 for Tillman.
Yeah, nice pitching. You know, I'm sure Chris said I don't really want to go this deep into the counts, but at the end of the day, he just throws another 93-mile-per-hour fastball into reception. It's part of reading the bat, because he was late on the fastball. Why not throw another one?
Danny Valencia, the veteran, former Oriole. Valencia with 2 down, nobody on. Rounded out his first time up. 5 for 14 with a home run off Tillman for Valencia. And that will just miss away. Valencia's chasing some pitches, so Tillman trying to see whether or not he would do it right there. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, he knows, because he did play for the Orioles. He knows how good an out over the plate fastball hitter, hanging breaking ball hitter he is.
That one will also miss.
And that's why he throws him a 2-0 slider. Thought he might get that pitch called.
So Valencia gets ahead 3-0. Tillman has not walked anybody. He's given up only the 1 hit first inning. Simeon will take it, and it is in there for a strike.
You got to pitch to the scoreboard. We'll see how he does it. Fastball hitter, most likely we'll see a fastball. And all your pins are okay. When I get into these type of counts, I can command my fastball low and away.
And a high strike taken, and Valencia will come back.
Yeah, take a look. Weeder slides to the outside corner. He doesn't get it low and away, but he does get it on the corner. Matter of fact, he thinks it's outside. To me, it'd be a strike in our little rectangle.
Full count on Valencia. And a shattered bat bloop. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Barrel of the bat down to third. So Valencia on the full count. Broken bat single is on with 2 away here in the 4th inning. Next Saturday, August 21st, 25,000 fans, 15 and over at the Astros game. Get the Crush Davis bobblehead, this great collector's item, available for the first 25,000, 15 and over. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. We'll bring Alonso to the plate. Rounded out his first time up.
It'd be kind of interesting if they take the bunt away. He dropped a bunt down, and of course you're trying to get back in the game. Manny Machado moves back, so they do give him the bunt. Just looking for base runners.
Ground ball will go to second. Jonathan Scope makes the play. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. After 4, the Orioles have taken the 3-0 lead.
The A's pitches really well. Only 1 hit through the first 3. Then they come up with 4 hits in the 4th inning and the 3 runs. The Alvarez double, the big one. A lot of strikes, which is what he does. And now let's go to our Jiffy Lube pitching change, brought to you by Jiffy Lube, where participating stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube inspect your brakes today. Daniel Colomb comes in, fastball. I mean, he's got all 4 pitches, not a hard thrower. You know, cut it, change ups, curveballs, sliders. Got him out of the Dodgers organization. And Triggs was up, what, 8 times? Colomb has been up and back down to Nashville 5 times. Used to be a lot easier. They were just up the road in Sacramento, which is now the Giants AAA affiliate.
26-year-old out of St. Louis. And the delivery will be taken by Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty getting the start at short. Hardy getting a break today. Flying out to left his first time up. Left-hander's delivery to him, and that's going to be fouled away. Colomb last year with Oakland played in 9 games. The Dodgers for 5. Spent most of the time at AAA. Major League came into the season only 19 games pitched at the Major League level with no record. Colomb's delivery, and Flaherty will chop it towards second base. Muncy on the charge, running throw. 1 away. Colomb facing the Orioles for the first time.
Now 4 pitching really came through the minor leagues, never started. So again, they maybe get 2 innings, something like that, keep them in the game. Orioles certainly, as all teams do, when you get a lead, want to add to it.
Adam Jones an 0 for 2. Will be followed by Kim here in the 5th inning. It'll be the Giants tomorrow. The Orioles will have Dylan Bundy and Matt Cain game 1. Kevin Gausman, Madison Bumgarner in game 2. Wade Miley and Johnny Cueto in game 3. And much to Buck Showalter's delight, 3 different start times against the Giants. Down to third, off the glove of Healy into left field. He'll make a big turn. Coco Crisp bobbles, and he'll go to second. Yeah. That's why you make a big turn.
And that's why you hustle all the way. I mean, he was sprinting and knowing that if the ball does get by him, it got slowed down because Healy knocks it down with his glove. So again, I mean, this is how you run right here. I mean, you're thinking double, and as it turns out, he's going to stop right here, and then Chris misplays the ball. So it's going to be a single and an error, or at least it should be, not by Healy but by the left fielder. Chris comes in, knows he has to hurry, and when he does that, because you're running, I mean, it changes the whole speed of the game when you hustle.
Just the 3rd error Chris has made this season, and it gives the Orioles a scoring chance, putting a runner at second base with only 1 away. Adam Jones continues his hit streak with a base hit to 7 games. And Kim will take the pitch on the inside corner. Kim has struck out twice. So the Orioles, another scoring opportunity. Shortstop Simeon backs off Adam Jones, so he'll get a good secondary lead. And it is there for a strike to Young-Soo Kim. Kim has not had a lot of chances this season in these situations, but he's gone 9 for 30. That's a .300 average. And he'll foul that one away, giving it the Ichiro follow through.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, again, your body may move, but the bat tries to stay on plane. Not a lot of at bats against lefties either. Coming in only 12. So primarily kind of a platoon player. Still looking for his first hit against the lefty.
Pitch on the way is going to be in the dirt.
And of course, Colomb says, I'm not going to participate, and throws him a big overhand hook.
Kim this year, 28 strikeouts coming in, 2 more in this game. He's had 23 walks. He has not struck out 3 times in the ball game. And he puts that one in the air to left field. Crisp coming will make the catch. And Kim's retired. Adam Jones safely back to second base, second out of the inning. Take a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
You know, it's funny. Manny hits 3 home runs on Sunday in Chicago. Arenado hits 2. Manny gets 7 RBIs. Nolan gets 5 RBIs, and then the next night they both hit home runs. They're both Gold Glove third basemen. They're going to pitch around Manny, and why not? And we had a chance to, with interleague play, to see Arenado come to the American League. Colorado beat the Orioles 2 out of 3. Actually, it was last month, but late July.
Machado will get his 9th intentional pass of the season, and the Orioles will have runners on at first and second, with Chris Davis coming to the plate. So Chris being challenged right here with the intentional walk in front of him. See what he can do with it. Manny Machado is tied for 3rd in intentional passes this year. Ortiz 13 rather. Mauer's got 10. Then Altuve, Cabrera, Miguel Cabrera, and now Manny all have 9. So Davis, runners on at first and second. He's had a base hit, a run scored, and he is grounded out. Trumbo an RBI single. Alvarez a 2 RBI double. And the pitch is going to miss away for a ball. Get the matchup, lefty on lefty for Chris. 234 off lefties and 210 off right-handers.
Yeah, higher batting average, less home runs. 6 home runs, I believe. 17 against right-handed pitching. Well, the one thing he will do, and as you've mentioned many times, in fact, Peter Schmuck of the Baltimore Sun, the columnist, said they probably should lead him off because he walks so much.
Leads the team.
Yeah.
And fouled off. You don't pay $160 million to get leadoff walks.
Oh no,
You're looking for RBIs and home runs. 2 of them out there. Jones with a 1-out single. Error moved him up, then the walk, intentional walk.
Mike Trout leading the pack, and last year's MVP, Josh Donaldson.
Well, the intentional walk, and then the next batter, Davis, he immediately falls behind. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, let's see if he gives in. You know, he's got 4 pitches. Nobody up in the bullpen with Mark Trumbo on deck.
Loans pitches up, and he walks him unintentionally.
It's not exactly what skipper Bob Melvin of the A's had in mind.
So the Orioles load him up here in the 5th inning.
Number 45.
2 down, and Mark Trumbo coming to the plate. Trumbo had an RBI chance and delivered in the 4th inning when he got a base hit. Now the Orioles can really put some distance on if Trumbo can deliver here. Inside. Nice stop made by Stephen Vogt.
As we mentioned, did a nice job in the first 2 games, both behind the plate and with the bat. And well, Mark Trumbo drove in the first run. Nice, controlled swing. That's what we're talking about right here. Hard slider down and in that easily could have gotten to the backstop.
Pitch on the way to him. Trumbo will take it up high.
Yeah, Colomb, the least active of the bullpen. He's been up, as we mentioned, up and down 5 times, but he hadn't pitched since the 5th of August. And it is showing.
And again, that's going to be outside. So Trumbo, no place to put him. A 3-0 count. He's gone 3 for 12 with the bases loaded this year. He's picked up 6 bases loaded RBIs. Colomb in danger here of walking in a run.
As he's swinging 3-0. You never ever know if you're pitching.
And it's there for a strike.
And you get the lefty Alvarez, who really hasn't had a lot of at bats against left-handed pitching. Only 27. 4 for 27 waiting on deck.
Bases loaded, 3-1 pitch to him. That's in the air to left center field. That ball is way back at the wall. And goodbye, home run. Mark Trumbo delivers a grand slam homer on a 3-1 pitch. A Trumbo rumble. And the Orioles have a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, soft single and then the big fly. That's exactly what Oakland didn't want. You get a left-hander who's not overpowering into a fastball count, has to throw a strike. Bases loaded, pitches around Davis, not on purpose, to load the bases up, and boom. And all of a sudden it goes from 3-0 to 7-0.
Trumbo takes over. The home run lead again is 32nd, ahead of Todd Frazier by 1. Ed Grabowski, our Maryland lottery contestant, that's worth $500. And the pitch is a strike.
To take a luck, 3-1, you got to throw a strike, in the middle of the plate. This is what Mark Trumbo does when he gets pitches to hit. High fives all over the place.
That one into the shift will take a hop. Simeon, the shortstop, gets it over there in time for the out. But a big inning for the Orioles as they pick up the 4 runs, an intentional pass that backfired part of it. Mark Trumbo making him pay with the grand slam, league leading 30 seconds. Game sweep. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, and for Trumbo, that's a 5 RBI day now, and another home run. Boy, that's what the Orioles were looking for.
Well, they really were, and it's kind of, you just don't ever assume anything in this game. I think we found that out through the first 3 games, but that you kind of figured after you got by Graveman, who's been really pitching well, you might have had a little bit more of that, but that wasn't the case. I'll tell you what does Adam Jones say? You got to turn the page. Well, they've turned the page pretty nicely, and they present Mr. Tillman, who's looking for number 15, with a 7-0 lead.
3 games in which the Oakland pitchers had kept the pitches down, hitting ground balls. In this game, they've not been able to do that. The Orioles have taken advantage of it, and Mark Trumbo, a 5 RBI game in his first 3 at bats. So Tillman with a big lead, 7-0. And the pitch will be outside. Butler, the DH, a strikeout victim. Chris Tillman has given up no runs on 2 hits. The Orioles 7 runs on 7 hits. Ander's delivery will be off the fists and back into the seats. Chris Smith, who we have not seen in this series, looks like he'll be coming on for Cologne. Well, this may be the ball game where the luck of the bullpen minor league pitchers runs out for Oakland. And Butler chasing that one off the end of the bat foul. Starters had been the reason Oakland's been able to win these ball games against the Orioles and even beyond that. The starters 3-2, a 1.72 ERA coming into this ball game over the last 5 games. Not this one though. Tillman's delivery. Butler held a little bit and fouls it off again.
Yeah, Billy Butler just trying to battle. Well, 3-year deal in the second year of that deal. Would like to play every day, but not getting the opportunity. But as you mentioned, when he has over the last 44, 45 games, hitting well over 300.
And oof, Tillman heard that one whistle by as he got all of it. Butler's on leadoff single.
Well, he's always been able to, the ability to pretty much barrel up the ball, and then again he doesn't overswing a whole lot. As we mentioned, second night in, got the game winner. He just whistles that one back up the middle. Take a look right here. I mean, the target's in, the ball goes down and away, and then boy, you start ducking. Just can't get the glove up enough.
So the single will be the 3rd hit picked up off Tillman in the ball game, and that'll bring Smolinski up, their center fielder. Smolinski flying out to left field, his first time up. Pitch on the way, and that'll be a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, all you have to do is see Jacob Smolinski hit a couple of times, and you know he loves the ball much more out over the plate than in. They were able to get in on his fist the night before last. A couple of hits, 2 walks.
That one to left. Him right there to put it away. Runner halfway will go back. Smolinski's retired. Fireworks night. Another one's coming up for you at the ballpark. August 19. Astros will be in town, and the Baltimore area credit unions present the fireworks after the ball game. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. The ever present, always beautiful, always in style, never out of fashion Orioles shirt. Healy grounded out his first time up. Butler still at first base, 1 down. And will take the pitch up high for a ball. Team with Chris Tillman on the mound, 19-5. So if they can win this one, quite a mark. 20 wins in Chris Tillman's 25 starts. Fouled off. And Healy.
Well, he's been able to do, Gary, what you always strive to do if you're a starting pitcher, is just be consistent. And from the 5th of July to about the 21st, he pitched 4 games, 7 innings in each of them, and gave up 4 runs. That's when the Orioles were struggling a little bit. He won 3 games right before and after the All-Star game in 7 days. So you don't often get a chance, with the 4-day break. Didn't make the All-Star team, even though he was 12-2 at the time. So we got to start the second game afterwards after he'd won 2. And as Dave Wallace's pitching coach says, he just gives you a chance to win pretty much every time out.
Throttled back on that one. It'll be up high though, and Healy works the count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
It's pretty significant lead as you look. I mean, if you have 4 pitches, that's how you have those numbers. You can get a guy out more than one different way. Add the slider. The curveball's not working. The slider usually is.
Ball tagged to left field. Kim going back, looking up, and off the scoreboard it comes. The break by Butler. He'll go to 3rd. It's gone. It's out of here. It got in between.
Yeah, I think
came back on the field, but that ball's going to be a home run, a 2 RBI shot. Well, Healy gets it.
Yeah, we saw what Trumbo did on the 3-1 pitch off of Colomb. And right there, Healy's got some power, and again he's looking fastball, and it's going to get over the scoreboard and hit that red sign. And the ground rules tell you that's a home run. So they get 2 quick runs back.
That was up above the yellow line, and that's enough for the homer. So Healy delivers the long ball here in the 5th inning, puts him on the board, makes it a 7-2 ball game. Healy gets number 4 and now has a dozen RBIs. Base is empty, 1 down. 402 on that drive.
402-foot line drive.
Muncy grounded out his first time up. Pitches in there for a strike. 2 runs, 4 hits now for the A's. And Tillman's pitch will be outside. You saw the efficiency with which Chris has worked in this ball game coming into this inning, staying at that 10 pitch count last couple of innings. Ground ball towards the hole, but hit very slowly. Scope makes the quick toss on a speedy Muncy, and there are 2 down. Our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Yeah, really not pitching a whole lot, and you know, of course, the #1 draft choice comes out of the University of Illinois, where he pitched 101 innings. So they're really giving him 3-inning stints to give him an idea what you know, again, minor league baseball, professional baseball is about. And apparently he's pitched really well. Look at it. You know, a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of hits, learning, you know, different baseballs, learning the regimen of playing professional baseball. And you kind of like what you see. A little bit over $2 million signing bonus. Your #1 guy.
Go Crisp with the 0 for 2. Bases are empty. Crisp in his 89th game lifetime against the Orioles. That's more than any other A. Picked those up, of course, with the years he had in Cleveland, and then with the Red Sox for 3 seasons. Kansas City for a year before Oakland. And in the air to center, Adam Jones, Adam Ball, and he's got it. So a couple of runs in on 2 hits. The home run by Healy puts Oakland on the board. 7-2 O's. Success for Jason Hamill. 5-0 record and a 1.16 ERA. 5 starts since the All-Star break. Cubs moving in on a division title. They're at St. Louis tonight. Jay Happ, 6 shutout innings versus the Rays. 16-3 his record. 4th Toronto pitcher to win 16 or more in his first 19 decisions. And Jason Worth of Washington on base via somehow the last 40 games. Worth on base percentage flying upward.
Yeah, so Chris Smith comes on, pitched with Milwaukee and Mariners organization, Red Sox at the big leagues, a couple of years in independent leagues. So I tell you, I don't care, you know, who you are. It's great to be in the big leagues. So having a chance to pitch in this game. See, not a real hard thrower, finesse guy.
Matt Wieters leading off against him. 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs. Colomb gave up 4 runs, 2 hits in an inning. Grand slam, the big blow, of course, by Trumbo. Smith has faced the Orioles once 2008. How about that? Back on September 2 of that year. Another pitcher who has bounced around majors, minors. Selected from Nashville on Sunday. First stint with the A's this year. And his first stint in the majors since 2010.
Actually starting down at AAA Nashville. He would have been somebody other than maybe Triggs to start this game, but they went with Andrew Triggs, who pitched really well for the first three. Ran into trouble the second time through the order in the fourth.
And he will start this out with a walk. So a leadoff walk for the Orioles here in the sixth inning to Wieters. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Jonathan Scope, a base hit, 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Chris Smith was in the Mariners farm system in 2011. He was out of baseball in 2012. Went independent league with Wichita and Sugarland before a minor league deal with San Diego in 2014. Talk about hanging in.
Yeah, Venezuela league. In the old days, a lot of guys.
Ground ball down to third base. Healy up. Muncy. And they turn 2.
Yeah, you walk a guy, it's the last thing you want to do, and then you make a quality pitch, get the ground ball, and they do a nice job of turning it. I mean, Healy stays down on it. He's played well defensively, not to mention the 2-run home run he hit. Makes it look pretty easy once you catch it.
Ryan Flaherty with 2 down and nobody on. Flaherty is flied out, grounded out. J.J. Hardy getting the rest day today. Giants are off today. They are back home finishing up a road trip. So they have the day off while the Orioles play, and then the Orioles and Giants meet up tomorrow night. Flaherty will take the pitch outside from Smith. Showalter's Ball Club after their 64th win. The Orioles 13 above 500 right now. Flaherty on a breaking ball that's going to be down low.
Yeah, it does a nice job of staying back on it, considering it hasn't had a lot of at bats. You can see Chris Smith. He's not going to power the ball by you, but he's going to try to get you out on your front foot. Another changeup. Tell you what pitching's about, not always throwing the ball by people. It doesn't certainly hurt to have 95, 97, but you can change speeds. You can pretty much pitch at any level.
Flaherty will take it down low. Smith, Apple Valley, California native, 35 years old now. Red Sox signed him a long time ago. Went to the University of California, Riverside. Flaherty will line that one to left center field, but it's going to stay up. Smolinski over to get it, and the Orioles are retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Orioles looking for the W. They lead it 7-2. For the ball game, talking about since coming over from the Mariners, what makes him successful? What's the difference?
He finally committed himself to the process, and he didn't care about results. So he went down to the minor leagues, however long it was, however much work it took. But he said, I'm committed to this process of being good and being consistent every time I take the ball. And I think that's what really set him off and made him the pitcher that he is.
Yeah, and if you look at his numbers, 2-5, 2-5, 3-5, and then he went back to the minors, came back the middle of 2012. Pretty much the rest is history. Went 9-3 that year. Totally different pitcher.
And looks like he's going to get number 15 here if he can continue to take the A's down with a 7-2 lead. Simeon, Vogt, and Valencia in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Strikeout victim his last time up and has picked up a base hit. He is 3 for 13 in this series. This is the middle of the order here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, so the changeup probably not as effective as it is on some games today. So it's gone to more cutters, sliders, and fastballs. Occasionally the overhand curveball.
Marcus Simeon with a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, but the tie in the game, I mean, he's going to try to, in the next 20, 25, 30 pitches, maybe get 6 outs. Take his chances.
That'll go to short. Flaherty, the long throw, sets himself and missed.
So there you go, and this is how it happens. The lowest ERA, that's Bundy, because he hadn't pitched that much. Gets a lot of runs. Tillman, middle of the pack. Jimenez gets a lot of runs, but again, the high ERA, so not as many wins. And then, of course, Kevin Gausman, he doesn't get any runs, especially on the road. But he's looking forward to hitting off of Baumgartner on Saturday. He said, I'm sure he got my scouting report of hitting off Bud Norris in Dodger Stadium.
The ever dangerous at bats for pitchers.
Yeah, well,
Stephen Vogt.
Things goes well. The 8th place hitter will get on and he'll get the bunt or attempt it.
Vogt will take the pitch away. Tillman hasn't walked anybody. He has struck out 3. Only 2 have been left on base by the A's. Neither of those in scoring position. Home run by Healy. 2-run shot accounting for the A's 2 runs. Trumbo's had the grand slam for the Orioles and an RBI single. 5 RBI day for him, and the other 2 went to Alvarez as he picked up a 2 RBI double in the 4th inning. Orioles with the count go into the full shift in the infield against Vogt, and the 1-2 delivery to him will be outside. It's been a while for the Orioles big bats to come through, and they have in this game. Machado scored twice. Davis has scored twice. Trumbo, he's crossed the plate twice. RBIs coming from big bats in the middle, and that's going to be there, and he walks away.
Yeah, Stephen Vogt says there's no way he's going to throw me another fastball. And take a look at our Nissan Pitch Cat. You know, sliders and changeups, and then boy, sneaks one right out inside corner. And again, he's probably not happy. He's happy with the result, but he missed his target probably about 6-8 inches, but still gets the strikeout because of the pitch selection.
So Tillman with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Valencia's had a base hit. He is 1 for 2. Danny will take the slider down low for a ball. Orioles have seen 3 pitches so far. Andrew Triggs, the starter, 3 runs, 5 hits over 4. Colon worked the 1 inning. The grand slam from Trumbo, 4 runs, 2 hits. Chris Smith on. And that will be outside for a ball.
Yeah, you know, he wants to get ahead of Daddy Valencia so he doesn't have to throw him fastballs like he did the last time. 2-1 fastball into center field. Sometimes you just can't do it.
He'll get a chopper. Third base backing up Machado. Strong arm will record the out. So a solid inning sets them down in order. 6 complete here in Oakland, and the Orioles have a 7-2 lead.
highlights. Third inning, nothing game. As Tillman is just kind of mowing them down, and fastballs, using all his pitches. There's another high fastball. Both can't get to it. And then all of a sudden, after 3 singles, Alvarez with a double up the gap. That'll make it 3-0. And then in the next inning, Trumbo with a grand slam, his 5th RBI of the afternoon. Those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Adam Jones, a base hit his last time up with score in the grand slam. 1 for 3 in the game, 7-game hit streak. Big series for him, 7 for 15 with a home run and an RBI against Oakland on the year, hitting over .320 now against the A's.
Selective, it's kind of interesting if you look. I mean, Brooks was, one generation, then Cal comes along. Both of them end up in the Hall of Fame. When you look back at Oriole lore, there will be this generation where Adam Jones was able to do similar things that Brooks and Cal were able to do.
Pretty good heater right there to him.
Well, it's only 87, but the other stuff, again, the ability to change speeds with his slider and curveball, breaking ball makes 87 look a little firmer.
In the air to left field. That's going to be in the power alley, way back, and goodbye home run off the facade of the first deck. Some 390 away, and Adam Jones continues to pummel the baseball. Adam picking up the home run number 23, RBI number 66.
Yeah, it kind of stays. I mean, for a guy to hit the ball that far, he did hit it. That's got to be in the 420-foot range. And we've just seen him over the last 7-8 games, just not overswing. I mean, every once in a while, but when he makes contact, I mean, it's controlled aggression. It's a 2-strike swing. Change up, stays in the middle of the plate, don't want to be there. It just stays on it.
Adam gets his 2nd home run against the A's this year and his 4th career home run in this ballpark. 425 away, and a 2-for-4 ball game for Adam. So the Orioles now up 8-2. Another multi-homer game. Their 2nd in the ball game, 172 on the year now, and immediately thereafter 4 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone, and Kim is on with a walk here in the 7th inning. There's no action in the A's bullpen right now.
Number 13.
Kim on, and that'll bring Manny Machado up. Manny's already scored a couple of runs, a single, intentional pass, and he has grounded out. It's taken by Manny down low.
Yeah, you go back to that 3rd inning, or actually the 4th inning in a 0-0 game. He had a really good at bat. Hit a 2-strike pitch into right field to start it all.
Foul territory with room. Alonso there will put it away, and Machado is retired. Well, the race for October is heating up, and only get more so. Birds take on the Jays. 3-game set starting Monday, August 29. Good seats remain. You can get yours and help in the push for the American League East crown at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Get your ticks.
And a lot of big games coming up. In fact, they're all big. Go across the bay. Anytime you're down to your last, after today, 48 games, and you can see tied in the loss column. That's the important one. The Blue Jays with what, 2 more wins. Red Sox with 2 less wins.
Stroked in the air to center field. Chris Davis, he's got a base hit. Chris just going with the pitch that time, and that's going to be hit number 2. He's 2 for 3 today.
Well, so that's back-to-back games now with 4 hits. You watch him in batting practice, and this is what he does. And then, maybe thinking, okay, didn't lead the American League in home runs 2 of the last 3 years. But soft tosser, stay on it. And again, one of the problems, and you talk to not only Chris but Scott Coolbaugh, is that a balance. But that was a pretty balanced swing. Good result.
So Chris The 2 for 3 in the ball game, 2 on. So Trumbo is going to try and add to his totals. Trumbo, a 5 RBI game so far. Grand slam home run, takes over the lead in homers with 32. It is Trumbo's second game of the season in which he has had 5 RBIs. He's not had one with 6. Base hit here, and he will. Trumbo on a good pitch down and in. And it looks like Chris Smith's going to maybe take one for the ball club. No action in the bullpen. Works here in the 7th inning. With the Orioles leading it by a score of 8-2, out hitting the A's 9-4.
Well, we got plenty of innings in the minors. I've pitched over 130 innings, so capable of pitching multiple innings.
Stop.
Certainly know what you're talking about. Again, he may not be as effective as Bob Melvin would like, but somebody's got to eat up the innings. See Mark Chepzinski come in and maybe get a little bit of work. We haven't seen him in this 4-game series.
One ball, 2 strike count. Runners off first and second. And Smith's delivery is going to be taken up high. Well, Chris Smith trying to hold the fort here as the Orioles got at it in the 4th inning. 3 runs, 4 hits. 5th inning, 4 runs, 2 hits. Now have added a run on the Jones home run in the 7th, and a chance for more with only 1 out. Trumbo will take it, and it's a called strike 3. First strikeout for Smith.
Now looking for outs, and went right to the outside corner. A little floater, looked like a changeup, similar to the pitch that Adam Jones hit for the home run, but
Pedro
a little bit better
Alvarez.
located.
35-year-old right-hander on the mound, 2 on behind him. Alvarez a double, 2 RBIs in the 4th inning. His first hit of the series. So he's 1 for 10 against the A's. He's made the hits count, though. This year he's had 3 hits against the A's, and he's driven in 5 runs on the 3 hits. Pedro with a 1-0 count and to the mound vote. Infield shift on against the Oriole DH. He'll go into right center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. It'll score 1. The throw will be cut off. Over to third base goes Davis. So Alvarez, a 3 RBI ball game, his second hit. You bring Kim's in, who had drawn the walk, and the Orioles 9-2 lead.
Yeah, he gets another good pitch to hit. He got the double was a fastball down and in. This looks like a changeup. And again, big and strong, and he can go out and get the ball in the outside corner, and again, because it's below 80 miles per hour, hook it into right center.
.42 RBIs on the year for Alvarez, with the 3 he's added in this game. First and third for the Orioles. Timeout asked for Matt Wieters with a walk, and he has flied out twice. So 9 runs, 10 hits. As the Oriole bats come alive here in game 4, looking to avoid the 4-game sweep. Orioles had not been swept in a 4-game series by Oakland since 2005. That was in Baltimore. Oakland had swept them here in 4 games in 2004. The Orioles now a 7-run lead here in game 4. Wieters on a pitch inside, jammed him. Smith's delivery to him, trying to stay in, but too far in.
Yeah, he's had a little trouble with the changeup in this inning. Adam Jones homer. Alvarez with the single for an RBI. And you're going to throw it in this count. Don't have to throw it for a strike. Well, got to throw it a little closer than that, but he got the idea.
Trying to work inside outside and not catching the plate on either. The count goes to 2-2. Davis at third base, Alvarez on at first. And again, not close.
Yeah, you get to this level, and you know, I mean, the Orioles are exhibiting their Alfred E. Newman offense today. What me worry? So well, we didn't score runs for 3 rounds. You know, we're going to get our pitches. Took about 4 innings for that to happen, and now all of a sudden, it looks like they're the Orioles of old offensively.
3-2, runner goes. Had a double clutch on that one. Shortstop Simeon, shading his eyes, finds it, and will put it away. Orioles are going to pick up a couple of runs. They'll do it on 3 hits. They leave 2. Adam Jones leading the inning off. Home run number 23. 9-2.
You know what time it is. Time for the 7th inning stretch.
With the solo shot, number 23, and a grand slam by Trumbo, taking over the home run lead again. And the Orioles 9-2 as the fans settle back in after 7th inning stretch. Alonso is 0 for 2 in the ball game, 3 for 10 in the series. Chris Tillman cruising along here, no walks, 4 strikeouts, giving up the home run to Healy in the 5th inning, and otherwise has controlled the ball game. The outside with that one, and efficient at pitch count at 92.
Yeah, pitch count much more over the course of the season. Efficiency a lot better. It's come down about a pitch per inning.
In the air to left towards the gap, going back on it. Kim shy of the warning track. Alonso retired, one away in the 7th inning. Follow Orioles baseball live with MLB.com at BAT app. Up to the moment, any moment, game day. Live game video, highlights, statcast, news, and more. Download it. MLB.com at BAT, #1 app via phone or tablet. Designated hitter, Billy Butler. Base hit and a run scored in that 5th. And he has struck out. He's gone 3 for 10 against the Orioles in this series. And a big cut. So the Orioles will wait and see what happens tonight regarding the Red Sox home against the Yankees, and then the Toronto Blue Jays with the day off pick up play tomorrow. Orioles victory here, and they'll be just a half game behind Toronto. There are the numbers right now. With not a lot of time left to go in the season, should be quite the battle. The bouncer way out in front that, fortunately, I think for Wieters, he didn't stop it with his shoulder. He kind of put the big block up that time, but it went right over him.
Yeah, the curveball. I got that one down about 57 feet, 60 feet 6 inches to home plate. Gotta get on top of it. Probably better than hanging it, but.
Toronto's going to be opening a series at home against Houston tomorrow, while the Orioles move over to play the Giants. Butler somehow reaches one way outside.
Well, he's always been a guy. I mean, when he came up with Kansas City, 1 year he had 29 home runs, but it was about doubles. In a big ballpark in Kansas City, very much like it is here in Oakland or the Orioles when they go across the bay. Where the Giants usually plays pretty big, and he's always been able to put the ball in play. Some change up, trying to pretty good to the lefties today, but to the righties maybe not as much command as we've seen, even though you would never know by looking at the scoreboard.
And Butler takes a pitch. It'll be outside.
There's another one.
So the count full, 3-2 on Butler. Tomorrow night's ball game be 9:30 for O's Extra, 10 o'clock for the game. Bundy against Matt Cain. In the air again, left center. Jones back at the wall and makes the catch.
Yeah, that Billy Butler said yesterday, boy, I love to go to Camden Yards, play on that team because I love to hit there. Well, that's why. Home run in Camden Yards, can of corn here. Jones runs it down right in front of the wall.
Couple of fly ball outs here in the 7th inning. Jake Smolinski 0 for 2. He's put the ball up in the air twice. Out to Kim in left field both times.
Yeah, the last time he actually had a pretty good at bat, hit it right on the nose, but Kim able to catch it.
Inside to him from Chris. Slider's going to be down and away. No warm-up action yet. Oh,
they're scurrying.
Say it, then they start moving.
Well, I think the pitch count, what at 103, high of 120, normal somewhere. Andrusic getting up.
And that will be a strike in the outside corner. So Chris will try and finish off the 7th inning. Right-hander will pop that one up behind the plate. Leaders will take a look, but that's going to be over the screen and on a play.
Oh, there was your pitch to hit for a young hitter. And again, you pitch to the scoreboard. That's kind of what, I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Healy, who hit the 2-run home run, but it was a 3-1 count. You had a 7-0 lead. He had a home run to make it 7-2. And so right there, I need to throw something over. He did, and I'm sure the way they go after Smolinski will change here. Probably a slider down the way.
He'll take that one into left field. That'll be a base hit in front of Kim. Smolinski is on and will stay at first. Recovery made in time to get him back to the bag. So 2 down and a runner on at first base here in the 7th inning. And our Major League Notebook on this date in baseball. This was in 1951, pretty early in broadcasting. WCBS TV in New York televised the first baseball game to be broadcast in color. And in 2015, the home teams won all 15 games for the first time when all of Major League Baseball was in action. And for the first time, every home team won. The Orioles did not happen to be part of the home team parade during that game, however.
Yeah, Dave Wallace out to have a little conversation. Smolitsky actually hit a pretty good pitch right there. Slider down and away. He's got to be pleased with that. Young hitter hitting a quality pitch. Keep the inning alive.
5 hits on the board for the A's. I was looking to see who did that color game in New York. None other than the redhead, Red Barber.
Yeah, you know the problem in 51 was not a lot of people had color TVs.
Or hardly any.
Yeah.
Red Barber and Connie Desmond, who were broadcast partners with the Brooklyn Dodgers, did that game on WCBS TV. Ball in the outfield, came out of the bullpen. Trumbo will get it. Here's Healy, who had the home run, 5th inning, 2 RBIs, 4th homer of the year, 1 for 2. Runner on at first, and a couple away here in the 7th inning. Tillman's pitch to him will be in there for a strike. Chris has averaged exactly 6 innings per start coming into this game. So looking to add a tick to that here and get through 7. One delivery in the air to right. Trumbo. 3 fly ball outs, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 7 complete. Orioles up. Tillman looking for number 15. On Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank for the achiever in you, and by American Standard Heating and Air for the best in home comfort. Choose the brand voted #1, American Standard Heating and Air. Right now, get special financing. You can find your dealer at MidAtlanticComfort.com. Here in the Bay Area on an absolutely gorgeous day, Chris Tillman will complete his work as the skipper comes over. 7 very solid innings with a couple of runs, 5 hits. And didn't walk anybody and struck out 4. So Tillman will be out. We are in the 8th. Chris Smith stays on, trying to eat him up out of the bullpen. And out in front of it, Scope. He's had a base hit. 1 for 3. Scope, Flaherty, and Jones for the Orioles. Inside and in the dirt. Chris Tillman's had 4 games this year in which he has not walked a batter. Scope will take the pitch down low. The Orioles second baseman with a solid 8 hits and 24 at bats against Oakland this season. And a swing and a miss on that.
No, he's not going to throw it by you. So again, part of his deal is like almost a split changeup.
Number 3,
great late action. Jonathan chases out of the zone.
We'll bring Ryan Flaherty up. Flaherty with the 0 for 3 with a start at short. Orioles able to put up the 9 runs on 10 hits without one of their hottest hitters in the lineup, namely Hardy at short, getting a day off. That's why Flaherty is in. And the pitch is there for a strike. One delivery by Smith. Roll over to second base. Muncy. Now take a look at our MLB notebook. You got a hurt, you got an out, and you got a hitting. David Ortiz looks like he's going to be okay. Negative X-rays. There were some worried as he took one off the shin. Carlos Gomez released by the Astros, a big surprise for a lot of people. Final year of his contract, free agent end of the year. We'll see what happens, whether somebody scoops him up. Brandon Crawford had a 7 for 8 Monday, hit a solo home run Wednesday for the game's only run. He finished that series 9 for 16 for the Giants. We'll see him in the ball game tomorrow across the bay. Swing and miss. Jones out in front.
Yeah, it was a nice picture of Rennie Stennett, who had what, in 9 innings, the last guy 40 years ago to get 7 hits in a ball game. They took that picture. He lives just outside of Miami. That guy pitched against Rennie Stennett, coming up through instructional league and whatever. Awfully good hitter.
Jones out in front, 0-2. Adam 2 for 4. A home run, his 23rd in the 7th. Picked up a single. He scored a couple of runs in the ball game. Smith's delivery, a check swing. He's tagged. He didn't go around. Marvin Hudson down at first said no. That time Adam was too busy holding the bat back to try and ask the home plate umpire to go to first.
It was almost like he caught it with one hand. Stopped it and then backward. Come on. Well, again, really what your approach is, and we've seen him. I mean, he's red hot, and again, the ability. We saw the home run the last time up, but also to, as he did early in this series, poke at the right field, because his approach has been terrific.
And Adam will get down swinging, no question about that one. So he's out of there. Smith with the 1-2-3 inning. Orioles closing in on a W, 9-2.
For the 4th time to win his 15th, and it's kind of cruising along until they get him runs. High fastballs. Really had the fastball command today. Used all his other pitches, but you could see a lot of the strikeouts. But then again, because he was using all his other pitches, freezes vote. So again, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Pretty efficient afternoon. And again, you can see the mix of fastballs and breaking balls and changeup. Pretty typical to what he does. So Logan Ondrusek, who would be second appearance here, got the loss the other night, leadoff walk, and they would parlay that into a 3-2 win. Again, the big tall lefty, 6'8", righty, 6'8". And of course, one of the reasons they got him is that he's supposed to be efficient against left-handed batters.
He'll get a shot at it right here. Max Muncy coming up. There's Reimold in right, Trumbo out. We'll be given a break here with a 9-2 lead. And the pitch will miss for a ball. Muncy 0 for 2 in this game and 0 for 8 in the series against the Orioles. Muncy, then Crisp, Semien at the top of the order. And Drusek's delivery to him, and that'll miss down low.
They're having trouble. Started the year in Japan, and the balls, they have those tacky baseballs we've seen from time to time in Buck Showalter's office. So again, a little bit easier to grip than the American League ball. There's a strike. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You look at when you play all the 1-run games. Obviously, this isn't one of them, but the first 3 were. And the relay play by Max Muncy last night was really, at least for the Orioles, when he threw out Jones at the plate, the difference in last night's ball game.
Muncy will take the pitch inside.
And now all he's trying to do is get on.
3 ball, 1 strike count to him. Orioles taking charge of this ball game in the 4th. Haven't looked back. Looking to end their 3-game losing streak. In the air to right. That's got a shot down the line near the pole, and goodbye. Home run. Muncy delivers the long ball, a line drive just over the 330 mark. And on the fair side of that pole.
Well, you got to throw a strike. We saw Colomb do it. It was a grand slam to Trumbo. We saw Tillman do it to Healy. Got behind him, pitching to the scoreboard, and that's what Ondrusek's doing right here. So it's very hittable, and he doesn't miss it. You got to take a little bit off when you're 3-1. Don't want to pitch constantly with now a 6-run lead, but a 7-run lead before that pitch, and walk anybody.
24th game of the year for Muncy with a big club. A couple of home runs. Well, the home runs providing the runs today. Healy in the 5th inning with a 2-run shot. And Muncy gets his leading off the 8th. Coco Crisp top of the order. He's 0 for 3, 1 for 10 in the series. And Drusek's delivery to him will be a fastball away. Orioles have held Crisp down to just 1 hit in this series, 1 for 10.
Yeah, that was the initial at bat, double down the line into the left field corner. The thing with Coco, he is 36, does have the neck problems. We talked about that over the course of this series, and had a nice career. Always, if you're a pitcher, always been a pest. He can beat you so many different ways when he's healthy. And right now, just trying to get on, and Logan Ondrusek not doing what he wants to do, which is throw strikes.
First home run given up by Ondrusek since joining the Orioles on July 30 when he pitched in Toronto against Toronto. Pitch taken for a strike there. Crisp taking 3-1. There again. Orioles out hitting the A's in the ball game 10-6. They too have had 2 home runs. One of them, though, a grand slam, and that's the difference in this one. Jones having the solo shot. And he walked it. First walk the A's have picked up in the ball game.
Well, the last thing Buck Showalter wants as he gets on the phone is to have to go to the bullpen, but he will.
Number 10.
Tom Cheedy answered the phone. Well, the Orioles not wanting to go deeper. Darren O'Day getting up to throw. Pitch taken by Simeon. Base hit, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Looking to get to within that grand slam reach. That's what Oakland wants to do.
Well, they just want to get another bullpenner in there, and that's the last thing the Orioles want to have happen. And
Andrusik can't find the strike zone here.
well, the other thing is, Darren O'Day probably had no idea whatsoever that he was going to be in this game because of the scoreboard coming off the hamstring injury, the push off leg, and now all of a sudden he's got to get loose. And Logan Andrusik is not wanting to do what he's doing, and Dave Wallace is going to come out with maybe a suggestion. Different ball, 6'8". A lot of factors can lead to having command issues. But at the end of the day, at this level, on the best bullpen in the American League, not pitching the way they want them to.
Dave Wallace came out 1,000 miles an hour to the mound, made sure he got to the very top of it because he's talking to Andrusik, who's 7'10", and so Dave went right up to the rubber on the top of the mound. No side of the mound for this discussion. Son, I have something to say to you. You know what the score is? 9-3. Throw, strike. See you later. And the pitch is there for a strike. Marcus Simeon. Now with a 3-ball, 1-strike count. And he'll foul that off. No matter what the score of a ball game, if you really wanted to hear a lively conversation, it's when you got your head 15-1 or something, and the guy you put out on the mound walks somebody. The discussion that goes on between the manager and the pitching coach at that point is a thing of beauty. It doesn't matter what the score is, that it drives managers and pitching coaches crazy. In the air the other way and foul.
Well, I still remember Dave McNally was a terrific pitcher, one of the 420 game winners, but he won 20 games for the Orioles 4 times, and he's not pitching particularly well, which didn't happen very often. And we have a somewhat significant lead, and Earl Weaver turns to George Bamberger, the pitching coach, and he says, I want you to get your out there and tell him to either throw harder or make the ball break more. So George runs out there.
Down to third, Manny Machado, the hot stop, and there's the double play.
And the end of the story was George goes out there, and when he comes back, I said, you didn't really tell him that. He goes, are you kidding me? I could just imagine Bambi running out there, and he was a terrific guy. He would go on to manage Milwaukee and the Mets, and beloved by not only the guys that played for him when he managed, but all the guys he tutored. But he goes, no, I just told him to relax and have a good time. Throw harder, make the ball curve more. That was an Earl Weaver. So maybe that's what Dave Wallace said. I don't know what you do with big guy, but get him out. And he did. Shot to Machado. That usually works.
Here is Vogt, 2 down, nobody on. 0 for 3 in the ball game for Stephen Vogt. Probably with both Earl and Buck. Could send the pitching coach out and just say to the pitcher, Buck sent me out here.
Right.
Do I need to say anything else? Don't make me come back. So Buck sits down after the ground ball double play. O'Day doesn't. He's actually ready in the bullpen if they needed it. They'll move the infield into the shift on a 2-0 count on Vogt. And it's not the day for Andrusik.
Well, it's a different feel. It's a different ball. Whether you come from the minors or whether you come from Japan. But at the end of the day, if he's going to be effective, he's going to have to get pitching so much touch and feel. He's going to have to figure it out.
And he walks it. So 2 walks, and that's going to be it. Buck Showalter ejecting himself off the bench. Will make his way out. 2 down here in the 8th inning. Darren O'Day in the bullpen will be coming on. The Orioles looking to maintain that lead, now 9-3. As the Orioles head over to the Giants on the other side of the bay, Dylan Bundy on the mound against Matt Cain. Coverage on MASN 2, 9:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 10. All the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, there you go. The Giants, struggle a little bit, but they won some big games on their last road trip. They play 15 out of the next 18 at home. Crawford red hot. You see 71 RBIs. That beats all the. And then again, you'll get three pretty good pitchers. Cain pitching well, as Darren O'Day certainly can. Fastball, slider, sinkers, rising fastball, and then different speeds with the changeups. Back off the DL and pitching well.
Darren O'Day with a runner at first base. 2 down, Danny Valencia. And Valencia takes the pitch down low for the ball. O'Day appearing for the second time in this series. He worked in game 1, pitching an inning, striking out 1. At first base with the walk, Stephen Vogt. Valencia with the 1 for 3 in the ball game. And he'll take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. The Orioles have the 9-3 lead, looking to end a lot of wrong direction numbers, getting out of the losing streak of 3, ending their 12 consecutive losses on the road against Western Division ball clubs. Trying to get the trip back. It'll be a 3-4 record on the trip after the Orioles win this one, providing they hang on. 2 ball, 1 strike count. That one's going to miss outside, so O'Day falls behind. 3-1 on Valencia with Alonso waiting on deck.
You talk about how the A's, I mean, they don't hit a lot of home runs. Big ballpark here, but only second in strikeouts, and you're seeing a little bit of that. As good as Tillman pitched, only struck out 4.
Valencia 0 for 4 off O'Day.
He should be taken here. I'm sure he will be. He was. So old school right there. Good idea. Make him throw a strike, and he did.
So the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down. Runner will go. Davis off the bag. Behind Vogt. Runner goes and almost caught him in the wrist. Ball 4. A struggle to get out of the 8th inning here. That's the 3rd walk of the inning picked up by Oakland. 2 on, 2 down.
It just kind of gives you an idea of why they want a lefty in the bullpen other than Zach Britton. Because again, with this kind of lead, if you're going to go to the bullpen, they might have pinch hit for Muncy. But at the end of the day, you got to have a guy, especially when you go across the bay and play interleague baseball.
Joe Walters talked about that all week, and the decision after the game on Steve Pearce, whether it goes on the DL or not, will affect what they do regarding the bullpen. Swing and foul back. Alonso going for a 3 RBI shot right there. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. He's faced O'Day only once. 0 for 1. Down to Alonso with some power. There's Steve Pearce, who's sit and watch this 4-game set.
Yeah, that injury is in the flexor mass underneath of your forearm and going into your elbow, and that's where you got the injection.
Runners off first and second. O'Day. He chased that one away and knew it.
Yeah, the deception and the ability to, with the wrist, to kind of make it ride a little bit or turn it over. Just think about throwing a baseball. He gets this arm angle by bending at the waist.
Zepchinski in the bullpen.
Yeah, with the only guy we haven't seen in this series. And their bullpen.
Darren O'Day 2-strike delivery, and it'll be outside. Chris Tillman, the 2 runs, 5 hits over 7. Victory number 15 awaiting him if the bullpen can hang on to this big lead. And that one's going to be foul back and will hold the count. Alonso battling here, trying to keep this inning going with 2 down. Big double play turned on Simeon.
Yeah, he hit it hard, but right at Manny Machado. And I think the one thing about it, the more you get to see guys, the more I think you learn about them. And Yonder Alonso, as you mentioned a couple of nights ago, Gary, comes out of the University of Miami, #1 draft choice. But I think, you normally say, oh, he's going to hit a lot of home runs. Well, he's a line drive hitter, and that's the way he approaches his at-bats. Doesn't mean he can't hit a home run, but doesn't overswing. That's what makes him a tougher out.
And that'll come inside. So the battle continues. A 2-ball, 2-strike count as O'Day, the 2 on behind him, trying to get that final out right here. Another home run power hitter, Butler, waiting on deck.
Well, they're just going to try to hit around until you get that out. That's what you do when you're trailing.
Again, foul ball in a little bit on him. Happ leads the American League. Jay Happ of Toronto has 16 wins. Porcello has got 15 with Boston. Coming into today, Chris Sale, Chris Tillman, both with 14. So Tillman gets a W here. He will tie with Porcello at 15 for second most in the American League.
Yeah, I think Porcello's 11-0 at Fenway Park this year.
Runners off first and second. 2-2 delivery.
Wow.
Yeah, he wanted that to the dugout.
Well, you're hoping that Gabe Morales, who's behind the plate, is going to call it. And probably a tad low. See Wieters drag the ball back towards the strike zone.
8th pitch to this at bat coming.
And it's good umpiring. If you're the A's, the last thing you want to have, because of the scoreboard, have a guy call a borderline pitch a strike that maybe he's not.
(3-2) and a look back to second. A lot of runs today, day games today. Houston got 15 against Minnesota, 15-7. Colorado got 12 against Texas and a 12-9 win. 11 for Milwaukee against Atlanta, 11-3. 9 for Arizona against the Mets, 9-0. And here a 9-3 lead for the Orioles. Offensive day around Major League Baseball. Runners go and foul back again. Boy, this is a tough at bat by Yonder Alonso.
Well, when the count gets to 3-2 and you look at the scoreboard and you're a veteran and you're pitching to it, that's what Aaron O'Day's doing. I got to throw a strike. I certainly cannot throw it. At least I didn't think he could to the edges of the plate. It may end up there, but it's got to be something that he's going to swing at, because you know what he wants to do. He wants to get a walk and keep the inning going. And then again, you make good pitches and he keeps fouling them off.
Vogt at second base. Valencia's at first. 9th pitch of the at bat. In the air, right center field. That ball's going to find an alleyway out there. It'll take a hop off the top of the wall. Vogt and Valencia both score. A double, 2 RBIs for Alonso on a 9-pitch at bat. Makes it 9-4.
Some kind of a bat right there. Oh, there you get him back into what? Where you're in a position where it's just it's a strike. That's what you got to throw when you go 3-2, and he's waiting. And he does find that gap.
Alonso keeps it alive on at second base. 2 more RBIs for him, 37 on the year. And Billy Butler with a base hit and a run scored. He's 1 for 3. That'll be 5 runs, 7 hits for the A's, 9 runs, 10 hits for the Orioles. 7th batter to hit here in the 8th. And Butler takes the pitch outside. So Andrusik will be charged with 3 runs on just 1 hit in 2/3 of an inning that he worked.
Yeah, you kind of waltz, so to speak, into the inning, and then home run, and then 3 walks and a double.
Off-speed pitch and a good one. Butler chasing that one outside. The Orioles will get their closer up. Who'd have thought?
Yep. Well, he certainly didn't. O'Day didn't plan on pitching.
Correct myself, and Andrusik has 2 runs charged to him. 2. Valencia O'Day's responsibility across the plate. Butler fouls that one back. They're hanging. Three runs in here in the 8th inning.
Well, you talked about trying to get it within grand slam distance, and they've been able to do that.
They got another at bat in the 9th inning, of course. That ball to third, that's going to be a base hit. That will score Alonso easily. Kim will go into second base. Butler, he gets a 2-out RBI. And the A's not going away quietly and make it 9-6.
Yeah, Buck Showalter is probably wondering because you know the last O'Day appearance was good, but the one in Chicago he gave up 3 runs, and it's you know, maybe occasional wildness, and then again, you know, wildness doesn't always mean you're walking people. It means you maybe your command's not good and you end up throwing pitches in the middle of the plate that you don't normally throw there.
So here in the 8th inning, the A's have made it a ball game. 9-6, their 8th hit of the game. Smolinski coming up a base hit and is flying out twice. Jake Smolinski with a runner at first. They've had 4 batters reached since the second out was recorded in the inning. It was on the double play. Simeon hit into 2 walks, a double, and a single. This thing started with a Muncy home run. O'Day now has been charged with a couple of runs. Smolinski waiting, and a swing and a miss, and a pitch kept down. O'Day will get ahead of him 0-2. Zach Britton is ready in the bullpen if needed. At the moment, at least, it is a save situation. Day delivers the 0-2. Smolinski will take it up.
Yeah, you're really hoping that Darren O'Day is able to again command his stuff. I mean, you're matching up here because you got a young hitter with a guy that has a deceptive windup, but is there any better pitcher in the American League than the guy warming up in the bullpen? So hopefully it will not backfire.
And Smolinski back into the seats.
Well, I mean, you've seen the approach by these A's. Gary, you touched on it early. The second most difficult team to strike out, and you've seen this approach. Just put it in play. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you get a better pitch to hit. We've seen all of that this inning.
Not holding the runner at first. Butler not speedy. And that goes to center. Adam Jones will get under it and put it away. But 8 came to the plate in the 8th inning. They pick up 4 runs, and it is a 9-6 Orioles lead. On Masson, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Navy Federal, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. It is BART Day at the ARC. Bay Area Rapid Transit System bringing some folks in, but not Mark.
Right. Well, Zepsinski comes in, and the only guy we hadn't seen. So, again, doing a nice job for him. Started last year with Cleveland, acquired, been around. And, again, you can see lefties, actually, that's a rather high number when you're kind of a setup guy. Good two-seamer, hard, nice little changeup and breaking ball to go with it.
30-year-old left-hander. The Orioles like to put some more up here, the way it's gone in the 8th with 4 runs in that inning. Kim, a walk and a run scored in the 7th, 0 for 3. And that one hit him in the batter's box for the foul ball. Mark Zepchinski, the left-hander. Toronto, St. Louis, Cleveland, San Diego. Left-hander's been able to find work this season. Jim said a little tough out there on the mound. And that'll go to second. Muncy bobbles, recovers, and gets the out. Visit MassonSports.com/CareFirst to vote for today's CareFirst Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. CareFirst, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Number 13, Manny.
Zach ready to go in the 9th inning. Manny Machado, a base hit, a walk, 2 runs scored. 1 for 3 in the game, 3 for 13 in the series. And Zepchinski's delivery to him taken at 3:05 now. Manny just out of the top 10 in batting average. Pitch taken away, fell out here in this series. Came in to the day 8th in home runs. He is now 3rd in doubles and 4th in slugging percentage in the American League. And he goes to the gap, right center field. That'll add to those numbers, both of them. He'll make the turn and head to second base. Smolinski will get it in, and Manny Machado a 2-hit ball game with a 1-out double.
And you kind of have to like 3 home runs on Sunday. You know, the home run here, the sacrifice fly, but today both hits. One a grounder into right field, and then, you know, what are you going to give me? Something out over the plate, and I'll just hit it up the gap. I thought Billy Butler said it so well. You know, obviously the DH for Oakland. He said, listen, he's such a good hitter at 24 years of age. You forget how good a defensive player, unless you see him every day like we do.
Gold Glover.
Platinum Glover that 1 year.
Chris Davis, 2 hits in the ball game, 2 for 3, a walk. And Chris Davis has scored a couple of runs in the ball game. With a double by Manny, he's got 33. That's third best behind Ortiz and Mookie Betts. Ortiz has 36, leading the league. Manny has crossed the plate more than any other Oriole. He has scored, if you add the 2 today, in 79 times. And Davis takes the pitch down low. Big potential run the way this ball game's going late. 9-6, the Orioles with 11 hits. One delivery on the way, bouncer. Ooh. Stephen Vogt with a stop.
Well, again, if this ball gets by him, and it's not going to, great job the first couple of nights. Easily, again, just, I'm not sure where he was able to block that ball. But that's taken one for the club. Otherwise, you have a runner in third and 1 out, and everybody's coming in.
Short lead off second base, 2-1 delivery. Zepchinski gets it in there and again fouled off a foot. 2 of those here in this at bat off Chris Davis.
Stephen Vogt saying, okay, a couple of sinkers, those are the balls hit at his feet, and we're going to throw him a slider. You saw the average, 0 for 300. Don't hang it.
Chris stayed out of the batter's box after Vogt got hit. Vogt will walk out to the mound after Chris fouled the second one off his foot. Here's the left-hander's 2-2, and he got it.
Yeah, that's 2-seamer. So it's such a great pitch. If you're Chris Davis and he's done a nice job of it this afternoon, you're trying to cover the outside corner and then you go to get it. Watch the front shoulder move in, and then you can't quite get to the ball underneath your hands. You can see him just 2-seam it, a little right to left underneath the back.
Nolan Reimold.
That'll bring up Nolan Reimold. This is going to be his first at bat. He came on to field for Trumbo in the 8th inning. Runner at second base. Now there are 2 down. Orioles 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They only had 12 chances in the first 3 games. They've had 10 in this one.
2 for 12. So what's that? 6 for 22.
Very strong.
A bit better number, but the 2 for 12. Certainly not where you want to be.
Foul back. No, I was talking about your adding ability. So, the school starting up in a month or so.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
Let's go shopping.
Well, I think that's a good idea. School close time. Retailers expecting a resurgence in sales for the school year, I read. Especially here in San Francisco.
Especially in the Thorne household.
Very dangerous. Very anxious for this game to be over so I can get back to the hotel.
Count the bags.
And count the number of bags. And also look and see what the name is on the front of them.
Yeah, that's
if
really
it's Ross
important.
or Marshalls, I'm okay. If it's Neiman Marcus, I got no chance. 2 ball, 1 strikeout. Reimold off second base with a double. Manny Machado. That'll be fouled down the line and not a play.
Yeah, people probably kind of wonder what you do, you know, day game with an off night in San Francisco. You go count.
Think people are wondering that, really?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. What Olympics? They're
Well, you
just
have your
wondering.
daughter put on a fashion show.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then you go out to the playground and you do that for an hour and then you go eat
On the cable car. Back and
yes,
forth.
we'll be hanging out literally on the cable car. She is taking after her father, though, and she says Are we going to go to that chocolate place? She says, if you take one of those cable cars, I know it ends at a chocolate place.
But like what,
Giardelli's over at the square, yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be good. Family trips always exciting and inexpensive. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Machado off second, and a swing and a miss. Lepchinsky gets the K. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. It is a save situation. They lead it, and trying to stay perfect is Zach.
Well, he is. He, got that tune-up inning last night with a base on balls. Faced one more hitter. Came in with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Again, sinker baller, and what a marvelous year he's having. All-star save. American League gets the home field advantage. 34 out of 34. More strikeouts in innings pitched. Incredibly low batting averages, righty or lefties, and then only 1 home run. So they're looking for base runners, and the Orioles are looking for 3 outs.
Ryan Healy will lead it off. 8, 9, and 1 are due up, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Healy, the home run. 5th inning is 4th. Good for 2 RBIs, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Zach Britton's delivery to him, and that's going to be right there for a strike.
Yeah, I am sure Darren Bush, their hitting instructor, said, hey, make him bring the ball up. Of course, a lot of hitting instructors tell their hitters to do that. But with Zach, once you get the 1 strike, then all of a sudden the ball you think is going to be down even goes lower.
Zach has had 2 previous appearances against Oakland, 1 for 1 in save chances. He's pitched an inning and a third, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Pitch on the way to him, and that'll be fouled off. Zach, of course, continues to add to the record of consecutive saves to start a season by a left-handed pitcher. He now has the record. He leads the American League, tied for 2nd in the majors in saves, and a .57 ERA, best among all relievers in the majors. And a ground ball towards second base. Jonathan Scopes got it on the backhand and the out. Eisner will come on to hit for Muncy. Muncy delivered a home run in the 8th. They want the matchup here, the right-hander. Brett Eisner on to hit. Seen Eisner in this series. Some power in the bat.
Yeah, came in from defense, so young player. Try to match up. Good luck.
Eisner 0 for 4 against the Orioles. And Britton's pitch will be inside for a ball. Orioles up 9-6.
Yeah, Zach, one of those rare breeds. Not too many guys that can throw 95 to 97 and make the ball sink and move like he's able to do.
2-0 count.
Yeah, right now wants to just get one into the strike zone and go from there. He's got to be taken here. I mean, you would think he'd be taking the next 2 pitches. And sometimes when you know that, the harder to throw strikes. Yeah.
Way inside. So it falls behind 3-0 with the top of the order Coco Crisp waiting on deck. It'll be right there for a strike.
And I wouldn't think he'd be taking another strike.
And he will draw the walk. 4th walk picked up in the ball game by Oakland.
And the bad news for the Orioles, they're all in the last 2 innings. Tillman didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. And now you got a guy that pretty disciplined hitter in Coco Crisp, but a little bit over 225 hitting from this side.
Crisp is 3 for 12 off Zach. The potential tying run now is in the on deck circle here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And you're getting into the heart of the order. And he's taking it's in there for a strike on the inside corner. Semien on deck.
A home run bat on deck and contact hitter if he can do that against 97.
Runner off first base, fouled off. Britton comes in on Crisp, challenging him here to getting ahead on the count 0-2.
Yeah, I mean the ball sinks, but he's so adept at starting his sinker at the front hip of a right-handed hitter. And then of course you can't really with 2 strikes count on that. Then he'll throw one you think is going to stay in the middle of the plate and it just dives down and away. So that's where Wieters is sitting here.
And box runner will stay. Can't take a chance on an out on the bases.
Yeah, Matt able to scoop it out in front of him, turn the glove over, which he doesn't. And boy, that's just that's good fortune.
Abner on at first base, getting his lead with a walk. Crisp with the 1-2 delivery, and he'll foul it off again. They've really done a job of that late in the ball game, keeping these at-bats alive. 4 runs, 3 hits in the 8th inning, accompanied by some long at-bats. We're trying to recreate that here in the 9th inning.
Well, the Alonso bat with 9 pitches and then the double up the gap. I mean, that was the one that really stood out in the 8th inning.
Zach's delivery, and that'll be popped up left. Kim. He's got it.
And so Zach comes back with one of the rare breaking balls and gets the pop fly to left field.
Now batting number 10,
Marcus Semien. A's down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Semien with a 1 for 2 off Britton. Tillman waiting to be a 15-game winner, 15-4 for the win. Andrew Triggs will take the loss, 0-1 on the year in his emergency start. And Zach Britton, this is a safe chance for him. Pitch is taken inside for a ball. Semien a 1 for 4 in the ball game, a single in the 1st inning. And Andrusik 2 runs, a hit, 2/3 of an inning. O'Day 2 runs, 2 hits, a 1/3 of an inning, and now Zach Britton trying to finish it off. Tillman gave up 2 runs, 5 hits over 7. Check swing, that was in there for a strike at 96. Orioles have out hit him 11-8. A's making a run at him here late in the game. It'll be up high. Two ball, one strike count on Simeon. Vogt waiting on deck. That's going to be a base hit. Well, the A's have done it. They're going to bring the potential tying run to the plate in the bottom of the ninth inning with two down.
And it just happens to be a guy with 27 home runs because Chris Davis, talking about the A's, did not play. So he'll come off the bench. And Stephen Vogt was a scheduled hitter.
Davis with a 1-for-2 off Zach Britton. So the A's making it interesting here in the ninth inning.
Well, it kind of tells you, and we talked about it. This is what they're pretty much living for. You know, to beat teams ahead of them in the standings. They did it the first 3 games of this 4-game series, and one swing away from tying it up here, even though Zach Britton's only thrown 1 home run all year long. This guy's certainly capable with home run power.
0 for his last 8. Davis will take the pitch down low for a ball. Hitting only .211 over the last 30 games. Still has been able to maintain a home run drive. We have not seen that in this series in his at-bats. 2 on. That's the swing that he uses to get him.
Yeah, chased the ball out of the zone, and of course Danny Valencia, who wears out left-handers, is on deck. So somehow doesn't really have to be about a home run. Obviously that would tie the game up. But Valencia with 6 of his 14 home runs, hitting .352, waiting on deck in case Davis is able to get on base.
2 on, 2 down. The 1-1 delivered to Davis. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
And for Zach Britton, because of circumstances, a 9-2 is now 9-6. He knows how strong and how capable Chris Davis is, and makes your task a little bit more difficult. One mistake, 1 ball up in the middle of the plate, the whole game changes.
It's on the way to him, and that's a ground ball to the middle. Scope, the throw to second, not in time. Got to play at third. Oh, what a mistake! That ends the game. What a mistake! As the Orioles get a big break, I'm sure they're going to look at that on the video. But Eibner came around third. He thought there was going to be an out recorded at second, and he stopped. Watch him at third base.
Well, first of all, I mean, Scope makes a fabulous play, and then a heads-up throw, and then the tag. And it appeared, even though it's bang bang, I'm not sure that call will not be reversed. Take a look. Does he get it in before? It's hard to tell from that angle. Certainly a very, very close play. And of course, Manny Machado thinks he's out. He's running off the field. Bob Melvin out to say that they are going to challenge this call.
Bob Melvin talking. The crew chief is Jim Joyce, the second base umpire. So they're heading over, and they will take a look at this. Buck Showalter coming out.
He's under review. On that play, the runner was ruled out at third.
Showalter coming out to check on exactly what the review is, and it's obviously the play at third base.
Yeah, he's probably wondering if it's an umpire review or it's actually a challenge by Bob Melvin, the skipper with the A's.
So here in the ninth inning, with the end of the game on the line, we'll go to New York for the review on the play at third.
Yeah, all you got to do is go back to the first inning of last night's game where Adam Jones was called safe. They challenged, reversed it, and the Orioles lose 1-0. So, the Orioles certainly ready if the call goes their way to go pack up and go over to San Francisco for the weekend series. Otherwise, this game plays on.
Oakland's not broadcasting this game on TV, so the only camera angles will be those of our broadcast, and that limits the number that the review in New York has to feed off here to look at. So we'll see what the call is. Zach Britton sends Matt Wieters back behind the plate. He wants to throw here just in case this game goes on. What a play by Jonathan Schoop. That tremendous arm he has. Those Orioles with 3 shortstops playing in the infield, usually with Hardy, Schoop, and Machado. You got Flaherty out there, and he's playing short today. They just have such arms. Here's the call. Safe. Oh my gosh. The call is overturned on review in what would have ended the game. It will now go on with the bases loaded.
The ruling on the field has been overturned. The runner is safe at third.
So Chris Davis is going to be on at first. Assuming that'll be a fielder's choice.
So they get their wish. Valencia, as we mentioned, 352 with 6 home runs against Zach Britton.
So Danny Valencia stands in, bases loaded, a 3-run difference. Orioles on top, 2 down, 9th inning. A walk and a single, a run scored for Valencia in the game. And he will take the pitch for a strike. Some ending to this series.
Yeah, ideally, I mean, Zach Britton just did what he wanted to do. So he gets for strike 1, and now, instead of having to throw a strike, he can throw a ball that will start as a strike and hopefully end up as a ball.
Valencia goes to second base. Scopes up with this one, and that is the ball game. So the Orioles come away with a win, but it wasn't easy. Here in the 9th inning, no runs on 1 hit. No errors, and there were 3 left on base, and the Orioles win it. 9-6 is the final, and our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Here it is, the big fly. Colomb comes in, gets behind him 3-1, and after a single in the preceding inning, 5 RBIs for Mark Trumbo.
Grand Slam drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 luxury dealer. Come see why at lexusoftowson.com. That'll end the losing streak at 3 for the Orioles and the win streak at 3 for the A's. The A's will take the season series 4 games to 3. Orioles will move to within a half game of Toronto, idle today in the American League East. Congratulations to Chris Tillman, his 15th win. He is 15-4. Zach Britton remains perfect, 35 for 35 in save opportunities for the Orioles. Triggs will take the loss. He is 0-1. And joining us, the big blow that we just showed you, Mike Trumbo got it, that grand slam coming in the 5th inning, and was even needed more than everybody thought, Mark, because that was quite an end to the ball game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a little interesting. We have faith, though. That that's maybe not ideal, but these guys know what to do, and Zach closed the door there.
Well, it's obviously struggling for runs, but the grand slam, I was allergic to him, never liked to throw him. But I look at the single that you hit. Manny has a great at bat. He gets on base. Chris Davis hits a ground ball single, and you just have a nice smooth stroke, and started it all off in the 4th inning with the single to center field.
Yeah. Obviously, I think lately things haven't been going that well, but you got to start somewhere, and sometimes it's more of a bloop type than the big one. But it's a confidence builder. That was a good at bat for me.
Do you change anything when you're in that slump? I mean, you've gone through this before. Every player does. Do you do anything differently at the plate?
Yeah, you try a few things. It's you just got to know that you're going to come out of it eventually. It doesn't make it any easier. It can really stink for a while, but we've all been here, done this for a little while, so just trust that the ability you have is going to shine through eventually.
Hey, a lot of galloping in right field. You played the heck out of right field. A lot of, I don't know, did they zero in on you? You played right field really well here.
They take their shots at times. I think against Wade especially, they were trying to go that way, but credit to Wayne Kirby. I mean, the right spot.
Congratulations on a big game.
Thanks.
Mike Trumbo. picking up the grand slam in a 5 RBI ball game. So the Orioles get the win now. Moving across the bay, it'll be the Giants. Dylan Bundy takes the mound tomorrow night against Matt Cain. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 9:30 with Ozak Store, presented by Jeep. Our game coverage will be at 10. This has been a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick, Ozak Store. It's coming up right now. A look back at a little more thrilling ending than the Orioles would have liked, but they'll take the W. That'll do it for Jim Palmer and all of our crew here in Oakland. I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu, adieu.